the guest now on YouTube. I think there should not be a reason. You mad, bro? I just don't. I just can't. I just cannot talk to you. Really, honestly. So, how about them Cowboys? Alejandro, bro, you're so fucking. Yeah, of course you beat them. Well, the Eagles' fucking offense is just. I don't understand anymore, honestly. Whatever, bro. It's not like you're gonna make the playoffs. Fuck you, okay? Michael Penis is hurt for the rest of the season, and Joe. I mean, the Bengals season's over too, so I have nothing to look forward to. Matt, it's good to see you, bro. Did your voice change completely? No, guys. I think it's just TikTok that's causing the voice thing. I'm also live on YouTube right now, and the mic sounds fine over there. So Cowboys, Brent says. Brent, you're a Cowboy? Oh yeah, I guess you're in Texas. Well, my friend Alejandro's in the chat. He loves. Is that Zach? Is that who I think it is? Oh no, okay. Well, Zach says go Hawks. I'll take the Hawks. All right, if you're a Trump supporter, let me know in the comments. It's easier to bring you up that way. Uh, you know what? Hold on a second. I'm gonna subject myself to this again for just a second. Hello, bro.
Hello. I'm 27.
Really? You don't say.
Yeah, hold on. I gotta get beer. How you doing tonight?
Gotta get a beer, bro. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? What are we talking about up here? Oh my goodness, bro. Guys,
So, man.
I think on YouTube we're better now. Let me know though. Hello.
Hey, how are you? How are you, man?
I'm all right. I'm all right. How are you?
I'm good. So, yeah, I'm a Trump supporter. I'm MAGA. I'm assuming you're not, right?
I'm not.
Okay. What's your biggest problem with Trump's presidency?
I mean, there's
Like your number one like least favorite thing about him, or about what he's been doing, I guess you could say.
fuck. I don't know that there's a lot. I mean, I feel like naming the one thing is pretty hard. I'll say two things really quick. I think number one,
Okay.
Donald Trump lies more consistently and outrageously than any figure in American history. Period. I think he's a narcissist who only cares about himself, and I think that's clear. Number two, not only is like the economy falling apart and all these things, but I mean he's all over the Epstein files. So
You said what about the economy?
yeah, the economy's like falling apart, or let me rephrase that actually. The whole golden age thing hasn't really panned out. And lastly, he's in the Epstein files and like clearly had relationships with underage individuals.
I mean, yeah, I'll say like about the lying part. I mean, every president lies. I'll be honest, but the last two things you said was just absolutely not true.
Yeah, well, I mean, human beings all lie. There is simply no other figure, politician or not, that lies as consistently and outrageously as Donald Trump. Like, it's like comparing apples to oranges. Of course, politicians lie, Democrats lie, Republicans lie. Nobody lies as much as Donald Trump. It's not even a fair comparison. I think it's a cop out to say, like, oh, yeah, well, he's a politician, presidents lie. No, no. Joe Biden, Barack Obama, George Bush, I don't care who the fuck you name. They do not lie nearly as much, not even close to
Well,
as
yeah,
much as
I
Donald
would
Trump
I
lies.
would agree with like Joe Biden. You can't put lying on someone who doesn't even know what they're saying. You know what I mean? Like that's something we can't do because he doesn't even know what's going on. You know what I mean, right? Like I wouldn't blame him for anything. Like he's just like he's an innocent old man that didn't know what was really happening.
Hmm.
So we'll
I,
say
I
that.
think I think he knew what was happening. He also has like advanced cancer right now. So
Well, yeah, I mean, listen, I don't have any hate for anybody,
yeah, no,
but
no, 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 yeah, no, no, yeah, yeah. Go ahead, drop the
you
energy.
really
Go ahead, drop the energy you just had a second ago. Yeah, I think
well
Joe Biden
no.
knew Joe Biden knew what was going on.
Nah, man, come on, don't do that.
I
Joe Biden doesn't know what the hell was going on when he
I
was president.
I think he did.
All right, well, he didn't.
Okay, I mean, I
All right, you want to talk about like policies instead of talking about
I met him twice, shook his hand and talked to him. I thought he was perfect.
really?
Yes, I thought he knew. I thought he was perfectly normal and capable. And
What do you guys talk about?
I also think that, furthermore, regardless of my personal conversations with him, he also passed more fiscal legislation than any presidency, any administration in the last 7 decades. Joe Biden, in 4 years, accomplished more legislatively and also just historically than Donald Trump has through his second term now. It's not even close. So
Well, yeah, it's not hard to pass a lot of things when you're not the one signing it, right?
can you name a piece of legislation Donald Trump has passed?
Yeah,
Go ahead.
the big beautiful bill.
Fantastic. Give me another one.
You just said one. Why are you asking me for two?
So right, you can't name a second piece. Again, Joe Biden being the person who signed more fiscal legislation than any administration in 70
Yeah,
years.
but he didn't decide it though. You know what I mean?
I wish I was you.
You wish. I mean, yeah, I'm 6'5", but what'd you talk about with Joe Biden?
I mean, the first time I met him, I told him that, I was like, I'm just, he's probably shaking a lot of hands. That I'm just like I was in the line and there was a lot of elected officials, and I was like, well, I'm not one of those. I'm just like a kid who posts videos on the internet. And he was like, the first lady was there, Joe Biden. And then he was like, Chris, I think what you do is very important. Like, you shouldn't underestimate the power of your voice. And I was like, well, thank you. And then I talked to him about like my family and my father and all these different things. And then the second time I saw him, I told him like I appreciated the work he had done.
I feel like you're familiar, man. Are you like friends with Dean Withers and people like that?
Yeah, I'm in the same circles, sure.
Oh, you guys are like the friend group. Like you guys like do things together and stuff. Yeah. So you voted for Kamala, right?
Hmm.
Why would you say Kamala would have been a better president than Trump?
Yeah, I think for like a lot of the reasons I said previously, and I think that she like is more experienced and had a Joe
Like
Biden.
if we were before the election right now, right, and you were to like try to convince me to vote Kamala, like what were something you would tell me to make me want to vote for
I
Kamala?
think she's like far more experienced than Donald Trump. Is obviously like more level-headed. Has like done more throughout her career, and I think her plans are like generally better,
Like plans on what though?
like the economy or the border or any of those things. And she's not on the Epstein files. She doesn't.
The border?
Yeah,
You think the border?
shut the fuck up. She doesn't fuck kids, so that's like the other thing, right? She doesn't.
You
She
don't
doesn't.
need
She doesn't literally fuck kids.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't need to tell me.
Yeah, get the fuck out of my life. Thanks. That dude's annoying. It's not a bad argument, by the way. Not a bad one. Just want to point that out. I mean, Donald Trump literally, best friends with Jeffrey Epstein, and it's like, cited between direct conversations between Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell, being like, oh yeah, he was around all the time with these like little girls, and yeah. So I mean, this is like the actual logical argument at this point, and I'm not being like facetious at all. It is impossible to argue that Donald Trump didn't know what was going on with Jeffrey Epstein and that he wasn't very close to Jeffrey Epstein. That's impossible to argue. I don't care if you're a Republican or Democrat or whoever. Like, that's obvious. I think it's very difficult to argue from a logical perspective. Still possible. I wouldn't put this category in you're being like completely, like you're not living in another dimension. But it's very hard to argue at this point, in my opinion, logically, that Donald Trump wasn't engaging in the same actions Jeffrey Epstein was. I think if you're under the position that the first one's true, but the second one's not, you're, I don't know, like in a cult or something, or I don't know, complicit at the very least. 100%, 100%. If you're a Trump supporter, let me know. We're also live on YouTube, and I think you can hear the guests now on YouTube. I can't believe there's 719 people in here. It's so good to see everybody. Ken's, good to see you. How are you? Oh, man. Good to be back in the States. The States. The States. Let me make sure. I'm going to go to the YouTube chat real quick and just make sure we're... Spain was good. Spain was good. Spain was a good time. Got to speak European Democrats. They were so welcoming, so kind. I was so lucky to be able to go. I just literally dude, guys, okay, we're going to let up another Trump supporter. Again, so grateful to be able to go and have the experience, and the European Democrats were so welcoming and kind. I was like, dude, this was basically, I left Chicago Wednesday morning, Chicago time, okay? Chicago time Wednesday morning. Spain is 7 hours ahead. And then I flew from Chicago to LaGuardia, layover. I flew at like 10:50 p.m. from LaGuardia to Madrid. Landed in Madrid at like 1 p.m. because of the time difference. Layover. Flew from Madrid to Bilbao, Spain. Landed at like 5 p.m. I'm there. Dinner, I slept because at that point it's been like effectively almost 24 hours for me. I slept. Got some food, slept again, woke up, boom, Friday, go out, explore, super cool place. Europe's insane. Speak, well, I mean, I know it's like literally the only time I've been out of the country. It's just one small place. Speak, explore, the Guggenheim, what a great place. Wow. And then speak, dinner, again, European Democrats, very, very kind. A lot of food, a lot of wine, great people in Spain, amazing people. And then wake up at 9 a.m., all over again. Fucking Bilbao to Madrid. Small layover, Madrid to New York City. My flight from New York City to Chicago gets fucking delayed. And I land here at like 2 a.m. No. Like 1 a.m. And I get home at like 2 a.m. After waking up at like pretty much 3 a.m. this, like again, another 22-hour day. And I'm just like, all right, I'm going to fucking freak the fuck out. So that's partly why like I haven't been like existing, because I'm just like, I spent 2 days like trying to like not feel like complete shit. Of course, today, you know, it's 11 p.m. and I don't know. I slept all day, so whatever. But it's fine. I'm very lucky. This is a very first world problem to have, and I'm also so lucky to be able to like have the experience at all. So, all right, if you are a Trump supporter, and I posted my panel on YouTube if you want to like watch it. It's like 50 minutes. The other people on the panel, I'm being so honest when I say this, so impressive. And if you want to talk about feeling inspired by young people, everybody else on that panel, I came away inspired. I was like, I should not have been on this panel. I should have been listening. Because, again, these are people who have been imprisoned, assaulted, raped, and are all willing, all because they fought against, you know, their countries, essentially, the countries that they're in Europe, rise of, you know, fascism or dictatorship, et cetera. And, you know, when they speak out, they get punished. And then the last person on my panel being somebody who moved to essentially to Poland and films a lot of what's going on the front lines in Ukraine. Like, these are all, they have sacrificed so much more than I could ever imagine. And it's really inspiring. So if you want to check it out. All right, we'll let up a Trump supporter here. Just let me know in the okay, all right, let's just, you know what, just whatever, dude. Kendi, what's going on? How are you? Miss Loretta, you're the best.
What's up, Hobbs?
What's up, man?
Oh, dude, you went super low. Okay. So you said Trump is in the Epstein files.
Yes.
He 100% fucked little kids.
Oh, no.
Explain this to me. Like,
No,
proof
that's
you
not
have behind
okay.
that.
So the proof that I have that he's in the Epstein files?
No.
Oh.
That he did stuff with
Okay.
little kids.
All right, so let's start with
Prove that.
Okay, well, I do want to be clear here. What I said was that from a logical standpoint, it's impossible to argue at this point that he didn't know what was going on with Jeffrey Epstein and was very close to Jeffrey Epstein over, you know, a decade. There's no way you can deny that at this point. And then I said, it's hard to argue against the idea that with everything that's come out and the first premise that Donald Trump wasn't engaging in the same actions as Jeffrey Epstein. There is no direct proof of that. But I think at this point, it's hard to imagine in my head adding dots that that's not where we're at. Especially the guy, again, who's been found liable for sexually abusing women before, the way he talks to women, the way he acts as like just a predator and narcissist in general. And then seeing the emails where, you know, Jeffrey Epstein, these are subpoenaed emails where Jeffrey Epstein is saying to Ghislaine Maxwell, you know, or vice versa, whatever it is, that, you know, Donald Trump is the dog who hasn't barked. He was around when the girls were around and he hasn't said anything. I'm 75% of the way there. And then I think Jeffrey Epstein responding, I think that was Ghislaine Maxwell who said that. And then Jeffrey Epstein responded, I'm right there with you, I guess, assuming that like Donald Trump is becoming more trustworthy or something. And like a lot of the other, you know, just emails we saw with his name attached to it, obviously in the Epstein files. Of the 20,000 emails that were subpoenaed and dropped, you know, in October or at the beginning of this month or whatever, I think if you search by name, Donald Trump is the most listed person on the emails behind or in front of Jeffrey Epstein. So it's like,
Okay. My question to you then is, when were those emails written?
I mean, I don't know, a long time ago, like you know,
Prior to 2009, correct?
some of them, yes.
Yes. Okay. The other thing is,
Oh,
weren't those
wait,
emails dropped?
James, really
Go
quickly, are you driving?
No, I'm not. I can turn my camera on. You can see I'm just sitting in a parking lot. You want to see?
No, I trust you. You continue.
No. Like, listen, I've talked to you before. I'm not stupid. I'm not going to drive and talk on TikTok. So I can turn my camera on.
No, it's
I'm
fine.
sitting in front of
I
Starbucks.
trust you, James. I trust you. Continue.
Okay, so here's the other thing is, if we're talking about if you're in the Epstein files, you're guilty, 100%. So why aren't you having the same energy with Democrats that are currently serving, that are texting Epstein after he was
Yeah.
convicted?
Well, first of all-
like you're focused on one person rather than saying, hey, if you're in the Epstein files, you're guilty. Boom, automatic.
Okay, wait.
That's what you're doing.
Okay, well, two things. Number one, like, obviously, I think it's been established that if well, it doesn't matter, the first point. Well, number one, again, Donald Trump is like the president of the United States, and obviously had like the closest relationship to Jeffrey Epstein. I mean, again, they were very close, practically best friends. And the amount of times that they have been pictured together and they have gone to events together. I mean, they were at each other's weddings. They were at private Victoria's Secret events in New York City together. They opened businesses together. Jeffrey Epstein was at Trump Tower multiple times. He was spotted at partying at Mar-a-Lago with Donald Trump twice. Like, again, that's number one. But number two, that obviously, again, Donald Trump is the president of the United States who ran on this whole idea with his base of like the sick fucks in the Epstein files. We need to release them. And then obviously, like, he hasn't done that, and it's been a disaster of, I'm going to release them. Never mind. If you're a Trump supporter still talking about this, you're weird. It's a hoax. There are no files. There are no files. Stop talking about it. Actually, we're going to reopen the investigation because Democrats are in the files, and I'm releasing the files, and I've always wanted to release the files. It's a timeline that is, like, obviously just absurd. It's absurd to any logical person. To your question, to the representative who was like texting Jeffrey Epstein on the on the House floor or whatever. Two things. Number one, he said on live when someone asked me about this before, they're like, "Yeah, I'd really like to know more about that." And I think that's like incredibly concerning. Number two, she's also the representative for where?
Doesn't matter.
No, it actually, no. I'm dead serious. This actually matters,
on, bro.
It matters a lot.
Like, even if he is her constituent,
no,
I don't
not
know where it
constituent.
is.
It's the U.S. Virgin Islands, and Jeffrey Epstein owns fucking all of that. He owns all the fucking islands practically. So it's like, yeah, of course, every politician who was engaging in the U.S. Virgin Islands at any level knew and was talking about and to Jeffrey Epstein. Now, does that make it acceptable? No, but I'm just saying that is some context there. And I have said that.
So the context or not context, let's say the same context for Donald Trump then, because you can't argue that context and say yes, they both were millionaires, billionaires. They both were running businesses together. Yes, you can't say the same context. Oh, well, she's representing the Virgin Islands and he's a Virgin Island owner. Okay, that's saying, okay, here's an excuse for my side.
No,
you can't use that same excuse for Donald Trump.
Let me say two things. Again,
You've always been better than that.
Look, I said that I want to know more about, that's the context that I'm aware of with this U.S. rep. That's number one. I don't know more at this time. I would like to know more. Regardless, I don't care if it's Bill Clinton or her or whoever was either complicit, was on the island, was next to Jeffrey Epstein, or was complicit in some way, J.P. Morgan. I don't care how they politically aligned. They should all go to fucking prison. It doesn't matter. Because, again, I think there are definitely Democrats somewhere, associated at some level with that. I don't give a fuck. I don't care who they are. I don't care who's exposed. They all need to go to prison. My understanding, as of right now, of the context with her is that, again, it's something about how, being a rep for the U.S. Virgin Islands significantly changes all this potential relationship with this individual, blah, blah, blah. But, however, with that said, I think it's incredibly concerning, and I would like to know more. And as more is released, as I hope there is more released, I will call for the fact that she needs to go. Something needs to happen here. I would like to know why the fuck she's texting anybody, much less fucking Jeffrey goddamn Epstein during this thing. And it's not good. Like, there is context, but it's not good. It's very bad.
Okay, so my next question is, and everyone's beating up Donald Trump for releasing the files, right?
I mean, he did,
and we can go whether he flip-flopped or not. Well, hold on, let me ask my question. We can talk about he flip-flopped or not, or who cares. Let's talk about the last 4 years. If it was such a big deal to release the Epstein files, why wasn't it done before January 20th?
Yeah,
because as soon as January 21st hit, it was, why hasn't he released them yet?
Yeah.
My question is legitimate, and you got to understand that.
Yeah, for sure. Well, obviously, Donald Trump, talked about releasing them. That's number one. But number two, the answer is our government. The reason that it wasn't talked about or it wasn't released in the last 4 years or previous to that is because our government worked in a fundamentally different way. And I think that this is the main thing that I always scream about that Americans don't realize is happening. But DOJ independence existed for all of American history. I mean, the Department of Justice has, is largely independent from the presidency, and frankly, all these three-letter agencies, for that matter, are largely independent day to day from the presidency. So when the DOJ indicts Joe Biden's son, and Joe Biden is asked about it, his answer is, the DOJ is going to do whatever the DOJ is going to do. It was considered unbelievable. It was considered unbelievable before Joe Biden, before even any of the political nonsense. It would be considered extremely inappropriate for a sitting president to comment on an ongoing DOJ investigation publicly. That was like, oh my God, that's really bad. Because again, the DOJ needed to, for our democracy, for the sake of like us running a functioning country, it needed to maintain its independence. Now with Donald Trump, he ran on unitary executive theory, meaning that, it's like the basis of Project 2025. So when he got into the office, he signed on day one, he signed Schedule F, which reclassified a bunch of federal employees, and he essentially, for the first time ever, mass fired civil servants that previously this has never happened at places like the DOJ and the FBI and the CDC and all these places, and he replaced them with loyalists. And so now that the concept of DOJ independence, which, for the record, there are fringe conservatives for 30 years who have been arguing that this is how the Constitution was intended to be. It's intended for the president to have sole control over the executive branch, and he should be able to wield these three-letter agencies to his will, however he wishes. That's how the Constitution intends it to be. And they've been fighting for this, and they've wrote a whole plan about it, Project 2025, and Trump won, and so that's what they're doing. And so now the Department of Justice is, it doesn't operate in a way of, okay, we're kind of independent. We're going to do, regardless, we don't focus on politics. We just focus on getting justice for Americans. That doesn't exist anymore. Pam Bondi just does whatever Donald Trump wants. All these people at the DOJ, it's just do what Donald Trump wants. Go indict people or else you're fired. Go, investigate people or else you're fired. It's similar to the Epstein thing. It's a political talking point. So he said, go find these files and release them. Now, I mean, he's all over the files. He probably
Okay, wait. Logically, who released the files? Did the president of the United States go and tell him to release the files,
Yes.
or who did?
Yes, the president, Donald
Oh,
Trump.
so you're telling me Congress didn't vote on this to make Trump sign it and release it?
What? We still don't have.
So
I just want to be
Congress-
clear. We still don't have files. Like I know
No,
that.
I understand that. I understand. They have 30 days to do it.
Yeah,
but
and the
my
files.
question-
The files. Hold on. The files that we're going to get are going to be just lathered with Democrats' names, and Donald Trump's not going to be in them because they're being. Of course, they're being.
No. My question was, did Donald Trump go and say, you must release these right now, and they're releasing them in 30 days? Or did Congress vote on this and make Trump sign the bill to release the files?
No.
Or whatever it would be called.
Yeah, sure. So, like, obviously now Congress signed the bill, and he has to release the files, even though it's not. I mean, that's not going to happen. But the point being is,
Correct. So why couldn't we do this the last 4 years?
No. Donald Trump could have released the files at any point without Congress, clearly, because he was again directing the DOJ to do these things, and it's just like so.
I understand that. I'm not arguing that
right.
point.
And it's so inappropriate and gross, and it is literally destroying
I-
our democracy.
okay, but
hold
I'm-
on, can I speak? It is destroying our democracy and
Yes.
our constitutional republic as we know it, and you won't realize that for about another 10 years. But when you do, it'll be too late. It is scary as fuck. The fact the United States is practically a pseudo democracy at this point. And again, all of us who screamed about Project 2025 and the realities of this, Donald Trump wielding the executive branch and going after political opponents is here, and it's scary as fuck. And the fact that again, Pam Bondi just does whatever he says is any like attorney or lawyer or person who like understands the Constitution at all, honestly, is
So, okay.
terrifying.
I'm not arguing that point because I didn't want to argue that with you tonight. That can be another night. I'm arguing the point that Congress signed a bill that said we need to release the files. They sent it to the president's desk and released the files, right? So we're not talking about whether or not Trump had the power to release the files or not. We're talking about Congress voted it in, and it was a bill to release the files.
Yep.
Why could we have not done that for the last 4 years?
I mean, I think hypothetically you could have.
So, okay, this
Yeah,
whole thing
because-
about Trump and not releasing the files is null and void because
No,
now Congress
no.
has forced him
No.
to release the
No,
files, right
no,
or wrong?
No, wrong.
No.
So two things. So wrong. So two things. So number one, I guess hypothetically to your first point, it could have happened. But again, the DOJ, nobody knew what was going on with this investigation besides the DOJ, who again was focused on justice. So it wasn't being wielded as a political talking point like Donald Trump has wielded it as, which is why we're now involving Congress and all of these things. Hypothetically, anytime throughout, the last 10 years or 20 years, all these files could have been released. But it's, again, been largely understood that the DOJ is going to be independent and we're going to isolate these three-letter agencies from political pressure because when you don't do that, it ends up being that people get favors when it comes to indictments or when it comes to being arrested arrested, or when it comes to any of these things, or you end up hurting potential victims or hurting potential justice in the future when you get politics involved. Which is a good example of this because, again, the DOJ investigation is obviously like completely fallen apart at this point. And the only reason, for the record, that a bill even needed to be passed is because Donald Trump ran on the talking point, refused to release the files, and then the DOJ lied about where the files were. And so then Republicans against Donald Trump, along with Democrats, started pushing and saying, this is unacceptable. We're about to force legislation on the House floor so we can get transparency from the president. If Donald Trump would have just been transparent about it from the beginning, even as he's engaging in this unitary executive theory, then Congress would have never needed to be involved. But the whole reason that was passed at all was because Donald Trump and the DOJ obviously lied about their timeline. They said they had the files, they didn't have the files exist, they don't exist, it's a Democrat hoax. I don't even know what files are. It's a Democrat hoax, stop talking about it. Okay, never mind, we're going to reopen the investigation, here are the files that are coming. That makes no sense. And so I think it's reasonable.
So I have a question in this.
Sure.
And I get your point, absolutely. What I'm trying to argue is this could have happened at any moment. Second of all, when you keep saying that we're under a pseudo-democracy or something,
sure,
that the president's in control of these three-letter agencies and everything like that, do you think that the three-letter agencies, regardless of what president's in there or anything, should have oversight from Congress and from the presidency? Because right now, yes, before President Trump took office, they had the Oversight Committee, which is in charge of the three-letter agencies. No matter where you were, someone has to be in charge of these three-letter agencies. And Congress, they had to go and tell Congress what was up, whether it was in the SCIF or whether it was in open public meetings. And you couldn't deny that. Was that going on or not?
Okay, wait, hold on. Yeah, of course. Okay. I think that part of... Okay. I think that, yeah... obviously, like, three-letter agencies should be like, there should be oversight to the three-letter agencies, and they should be like regulated. I mean, I don't know if that's the right word. Yeah, there should be oversight, of course, to the three-letter agencies, but right now the entire, again, all of that oversight and all of what's going on at those agencies, and this has never happened before, it's all political, it's all based on loyalty. I think actually we just had a really good someone high up at the DOJ who kind of like a whistleblower, not a whistleblower, I mean, everybody knows what's going on, but say, like, if Americans truly understood what was going on inside the DOJ right now, they'd be disgusted. He or she referenced it as, quote, Trump's personal law firm, and it's stunning to watch, like, the loyalty. Our government has been filled with, like, it's a game of loyalty. Like, you're loyal to Donald Trump or you get out. And most of these people are not competent. They don't know what they're doing. And they, again, watching, like, them play political games with the law, like we saw in New York with Eric Adams, 7 New York prosecutors resigned because they refused to drop the charges against Eric Adams at the request of the Trump White House. And all of them, resigned from higher positions and said, this is something this goes deeply essentially against my, however many decades of studying law, and any lawyer with any amount of ethics, any prosecutor, anybody with ethics knows that it is not right to be dropping this case for no other reason besides it's politically advantageous to the White House. I resign, and I resign. I'm leaving.
All right. So yeah, but that's not. I get what you're saying, and every time I bring up a point, it's like we're going down another path. I brought up the Epstein files,
my bad.
It was completely
So like, what was the point?
Brother, I'm trying to be honest with you and like have a good conversation like we've had before. My question, legitimate question was, we have oversight of the three-letter agencies. It's happened for the last 30, 100, 200 years. And I know they haven't been around for 200 years. I get that. But we've had oversight of those agencies
of course.
Ever since they were born.
Sure.
And so for someone to sit there and say, well, now Trump is involved in it or the president's involved in it, come on, dude. Like, we're not talking about that. We're talking about oversight. A lot of these agencies had a lot of bad shit going on in there. There was not just Republicans. There was Republicans and Democrats. Every time someone got voted in, we would switch to, okay, we're doing this now. We shouldn't do that. And I don't think Trump should be involved in the DOJ. I'm not agreeing with that. What I'm agreeing is we need actual oversight in these agencies to respond to Congress, not tell them, well, it's an open investigation. Then go in the SCIF. Talk about it with our people. But you can't come out and lie about it. How many times did that happen from 2019 and on?
I don't.
I mean, it's happened since
when,
2000s.
yeah, like, but can you give me like examples of that happening?
Okay, so they had an oversight committee, and there was a certain
Well,
Congress member.
not the DOJ saying that like there's like an open investigation, so we can't talk. I mean, that's literally well, actually, it doesn't matter. That's what Donald Trump's about to do essentially, and the DOJ is about to do with the rest of the Epstein files that relate to Trump. They're going to say this is an open investigation, so we don't have to release them. But yeah, I mean that's its whole that's its own I don't understand like the point you're trying to make. I guess.
The point I'm trying to make is you're talking about pseudo democracy. I think is that what you've called it, and you keep saying that these three-letter agencies didn't need to answer to anybody, and to me that's completely wrong. They should.
I said they did.
If there's something bad going on in it, let's talk about the aid for one, okay? Or the FBI. There's hundreds of examples, but the aid. If we're sending aid to another country, and it was in a bill, yes, okay, hold on, just hear me out, and they wanted to pull that back and say, hey, we're losing money here. We need to kind of focus on America. And shouldn't Congress and the president be able to vote that back?
I'm sorry. Can you repeat that one more time?
Okay,
My bad.
I'll explain it very, very plainly.
Yo, Adam.
When we're sending
Adam,
when
it's
we're
good to see you,
sending
bro.
aid,
Matt,
when we're
you
sending
fucking
aid-
nucleotide. Sorry, continue.
when we're sending aid overseas and we don't know where it's going or something, and Congress starts asking questions about it, why is it that everybody keeps saying we don't need to be involved in that? It's already a bill signed. We got to send the money anyways.
When is that happened? I don't really get that.
That has happened since the big beautiful bill. Since before that, we found out there was stuff going overseas. Just like the FBI investigating people that were in the country that they weren't supposed to be. That like they had no fucking thing with them. Just like the CIA doing bad crap here in the US. They're an overseas or out of the country organization.
Yeah,
right or wrong?
I think there might be. Yes,
Like we need to have oversight and more oversight.
I think there may be. I understand where you're going with this. I think there may be. There may be a little contradiction between like something like and agencies like this. I think that there is like significantly more oversight with agencies like the Department of Justice or the FBI or the CDC as opposed to like the CIA and the NSA. I think there's reasonable conversations to be had about like the lack of oversight and how some of these like in recent decades, obviously with like after 9/11, how like maybe the NSA or any of these other or the CIA for that matter, although I know they're different, but let's just say the NSA for example, as it relates to Americans, like yeah, there was like clearly been a lack of oversight there that's been like very damaging. But I think that like the NSA is like significantly different than some of the guardrails we have had around the DOJ or like any of these other places. By the way, to people saying I'm using a voice changer, I'm not. It's just TikTok. I don't know what it is. I'm also live on YouTube and the mic sounds fine on YouTube, so I'm so sorry. If you scroll out, then you can fix it. But also to your point, James, lastly, and I think Adam said this in the comments as well, yeah, and again, it's like what I've been explaining, which is like Donald Trump with this unitary executive theory, like and like these fringe conservatives who have been just waiting for this moment their whole lives, where they have a president and they're about to essentially just gut the executive branch like we've never seen and fill it with loyalists. It's like the whole point of that is like removing a bunch of oversight, removing bureaucracy. We don't need any of that. It's just whatever Donald Trump says, whatever the executive says goes. And so like in any of these given agencies, it's like the DOJ actually doesn't need to be responding to anyone else besides the president. And that's how Donald Trump, I don't know that Donald Trump knows what the fuck is going on, but that's how a lot of these fringe conservatives view this, and that's like his whole purpose.
Okay, so when you say that DOJ has to answer to the president now, which if we look at it, where is the DOJ? What branch does the DOJ fall under?
The executive.
Okay, so if they have to answer just like the DOD, what branch do they fall under?
What? Oh my god! What is the point you're trying?
You know where I'm going with this. No,
that's.
Is the president the commander-in-chief?
Yeah, I don't think that is a proper. I don't listen again. What you're about.
I get it. It's not proper. It's not the last 200 years that we've done this. Our forefathers couldn't have dreamed of how much we've went on beyond their initial ideas of this country. So yes, there should be the president is the commander in chief. He's in charge
So
of the DOJ,
how did we
of
just
the DOD, of the
James,
Army,
can
the
I
Marine
ask
Corps.
James, can I ask a question? How
Go
did we
ahead.
just go from
Yeah.
you arguing that you want more oversight to you arguing that there should be no oversight?
No. I'm saying that my only argument with this is they have to answer to the president, but they still must need major oversight from Congress.
Wait, so okay.
It's checks and balances. It's easy. We have no checks and balances for the last 20 years for any oversight of anything that's been going on in any of those three-letter agencies.
Well,
they all come back and say something.
Luckily,
My last thing,
luckily we have no
I'm
more.
a pivot here.
Okay, luckily we have no more checks and balances for the judicial branch either.
We really don't. Honestly, it's crap. We should have more. I mean, it is ever since I would say late 2000s. Our checks and balances have gone down in the crapshoot.
We live in a
Even when Trump was first elected, I'll agree to that.
okay. Last
Our checks and balances have screwed.
La-
Last pivot. I'm just gonna pivot one time.
Okay.
And everyone call me out for it. When hold on. I had my point and then I went off on a tangent. Shit. I'm gonna have to
Clutch
message
up,
you, I
James.
guess. I've done this before. Damn, you got me all nervous. But no, really, I think you're one of the best. I've argued with
thanks,
you
James.
before. I do listen to you religiously while you're on here.
Oh, thanks.
But I thought
I
you-
actually really appreciate that.
Like, dude, we've talked like 12 times. I'm not gonna lie. And ever since before President Trump got elected, like I've been following you for I think over I don't know, when you first popped up on TikTok, I've been following you. I think you're a lot smarter than your old friend group, your new friend group, or whatever's going on. I do listen to you. But I thought you were better than just blaming one person. You've always been a logical person. And whether or not I agree with you or disagree with you, you've been a very logical person. And you've never sat there and said, well, this could be. Yes, it could be, but I might be wrong. And you've said that tonight, but you've also done way better investigations. I've seen you on here for a long time. You know the Epstein files are crap. I think they're crap. I mean, let's be honest. There's a lot of people in there. Bill Clinton, why are we not talking about that person? He was like super best friends with them. Whether or not,
Please.
the other thing, we need to look forward to 2026 and 2028 presidency. We need to stop arguing about these little crap that we've already voted these people in. They're going to vote however they want anyways. They're not going to vote everything you like and everything I like. I mean, it is crap. We need better. We just need a whole,
a new
complete.
slate. A new slate.
Yeah.
There's many Democrats.
Ah.
They great slates. Listen,
Okay.
James.
Listen, I'm never going to be a Democrat, but
I
I appreciate you.
I actually very much and I appreciate the kind words. Like genuinely, it means a lot. Okay, yo, W. James. I appreciate you a lot. Thank you for
All
the
right.
kind words. I'll try to. I'll remember. I'm trying my best here, staying logical as I can. I appreciate it, and thanks for watching. It really means a lot.
No, you have a good night, brother.
Thanks,
and
man.
I'll continue watching.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Be
All right,
safe,
see you,
right?
bye.
Be easy.
You too. Bye.
You know, W. James, at the end there, W. James, I actually appreciate it. He said we talked like 12 times, but like, does the profile picture change? Yeah, the people in the comments, again, he's like, why are we talking about Bill Clinton? Fucking, if Bill Clinton's, got some shit going on here that, exists and whatever it is, I don't give a fuck. I'm saying I don't give a, okay, that is so gonna get clipped. I mean, I don't give a fuck as in like, it's not political to me. Like fucking throw him in jail, toss a key. I don't give a fuck. The reason we're not talking about him and we're talking about Trump is because Trump is the president right now and Bill Clinton is not. So like fucking, it seems more pressing that the president of the United States is like, trying to avoid this. But anyways, I just want to make sure. But yeah, I mean, that's its whole, okay, you can hear on the YouTube live stream. Yo, W's to people on YouTube. I was trying to pull up the chat there. I appreciate everybody on YouTube. I gotta pull up the chat. I'm gonna use the bathroom real quick, and then we're gonna come back. We'll let up a Trump supporter. Oh my goodness, it's good to see everyone, yo. 870 people in here is fucking nutty. People like when you go live on TikTok live studio. Yeah, if Chris's voice is fast, close the app for a minute and reopen it. Yeah, it does sound. I mean, if you want to watch on YouTube, there's a YouTube live stream. It sounds the same. It sounds normal at least. My YouTube's in the link in my bio. It's also just Chris D. Maurer if you want to watch there. You can also rewatch the stream over there. That's a good question, Judgy Eyebrow. Actually, I don't know the answer to that. Does a DOJ have 30 business days, 30 calendar days? I don't know. Probably guess 30 business days, right? DOJ operating on government when the government's open. I mean, not that the government. I don't fucking know. It's a good question. Good question. Love your content. Miss you, yo, Michelle. I appreciate you a lot. You're the best. Loud liberals. The Lashes. So good to see you. Because he's not the damn president. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he ran exactly, Karen. He ran on getting the Epstein files out. It's like, okay. All right. We're gonna let someone else up here. Let me just use the bathroom. Double tap the screen for me, everybody. I will be right back. Oh. Yo, chat. Listen, chat. If you have not gotten your flu shot, you need to get your flu shot. You need to go get your flu shot, bro. The flu this year, I've heard, is awful. My boy Harry Sisson, he texted me like a week or two ago, said it was like, no, it was more than that. But he was like, this is the most sick I've ever felt in my entire life. I would give anything to go back and get the flu shot. I was like, wow, fuck. So yeah, it's bad. So, and also this will make the conservatives go ballistic. I have the flu. I'm dying. No, Ria Raya. No, I'm sorry. Please feel better. Lots of water. I'm sorry, dude. Why does it sound like that? Yeah, again, I think TikTok, it just glitches like this. Sometimes you just have to scroll out and back in if I sound high pitched. Got my flu shot. Let's go. People will go nuts when I say this, but I also got my COVID shot for this year. I know the conservatives are gonna hate that, dude. They're gonna freak out. Like I can feel they're like. Okay, yeah, but yeah, I got my COVID and flu shot at the same time. There's some evidence supposedly that maybe getting them at the same time can actually increase your ability, like your resistance against both of them, as opposed to getting them one at a time. I don't know. I just did both at the same time. Like, I'm already there, bro. Hello from Alaska. Hello, the progressive. Stop lying, dude. What am I lying about, Martha? Huh? I'll invite you up here. What am I lying about? Come on. Tell me I'm lying. Come on, man. Oh, wait. What the fuck? Am I? Your channel. Do you feel... Dude, I feel sad. Not really. I mean, I felt kind of shitty like the next day, but I feel fine after that. It's a little while ago. Myocarditis. Yeah, it's obviously clear that, like, the risk of getting myocarditis, even as a young man, is obviously, like... again, all of medicine is just risk analysis, right? So the chances that I get COVID and get very sick and have like a complication from getting very sick are significantly higher than the risk that I get myocarditis and something happens from that. So it's just risk analysis, right? It's basic shit. It's way riskier to not get the vaccine and potentially, obviously it's not super likely that I would get sick and like with COVID and something, terrible happens, but it's just statistically more likely and it's harder on my body as opposed to getting a vaccine. And if I got myocarditis within 2 weeks, knowing what to do about that. Like, again, it's just like, it's nonsensical. Like, you people have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. Go listen to a doctor. Jesus Christ. All right, if you're a Trump supporter, let me know. Also, now I can see the YouTube live chat. Damn, the YouTube stream kind of looking fresh though. YouTube stream looking fresh though. Okay, he said he got that shit on though. Wait, I screwed up the chat. Okay, there we go. Let me get there. Okay. Hello, YouTube chat. It's been too long. No thanks. I hate needles. Oh, I'm sorry, Alex. Yeah, you got this. I believe in you. It's one quick poke. One quick poke. I got my vaccine. Just got my vaccine from COVID, Jerky says. Let's go. Huge W's. What's up, YouTube chat? May, what's going on? Okay. If you're a Trump supporter, let me know. What's in the COVID vaccine? Are we serious right now? Is that a joke? No. Please tell me this is a joke. Ash, you're joking, right? There's a nasal spray for the flu vaccine. I forgot about that. That's actually true. Nasal spray for a flu vaccine. That's on DSA. I consider myself like in between. I think a lot of Democrats are like too moderate, and I think a lot of leftists are insufferable. So I find myself in the middle sometimes. I think DSA is not something I don't associate myself with DSA, certainly. But, whatever. I tend to be a Big Tent person. I like Zohran Mamdani. I like Joe Biden. I like a lot of Democrats. I don't think this issue right now is ideological. I think it's an issue of fighters versus folders. So, and I think like 99% of the internet is just like, especially TikTok these days, is fucking insufferable. They all want to bitch and moan about everything. I mean, a lot of Zohran Mamdani's main base has already abandoned him, and he hasn't even been getting to govern yet because they're like, oh, he sold out to the. Shut the fuck up. These people are like, generally like, it tends to be that like true like hardcore leftists have zero political instinct. They have no fucking idea what's going on. Like Zohran Mamdani seems like a good dude. I like him. I've been impressed with like the way he's tried to he's been doing things. So, I mean, it doesn't really matter if I'm like as far left as him or not or anything. I just think like wide tents here. Okay, why are you fibbing? What are you talking about right now? Come up here, come on. They don't see the long game. Yeah, it's just like, oh, are you or Harry more progressive? I'd say I'm like a tad more progressive than Harry. Just a tad. Consider myself like a pragmatic progressive. Some people often tell me like they're like you are progressive. You're just like regular progressive. Not like there's like online progressive is just like a broken like fucking like it's not even real life. These people are not real life, bro. Someone who said let me in. This person? Hello? 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 All right. People are asking what's wrong with TikTok sound. Yeah, again, this seems to be a TikTok thing, a TikTok issue with the mic. If you go in and out of the TikTok app, it'll fix it, I think, at least for a bit. But I'm also live on YouTube, and I think the if you want to watch on YouTube, you can hear the same. It's kind of all the same. It's the same username, and the mic sounds fine. I don't know what it is about TikTok Live Studio that's causing this. A little Democrat boy hosting. It's probably like a grown man whose wife left him. It sucks. You can't really blame her, right? You can't please her, This is how it goes. I mean, it sucks. If you're a Trump supporter, let me know in the comments. It's easier to bring you up. I see people in the guest box like on TikTok Live Studio. I'm sorry, just easier to bring you up. I mean, no, I get it, dude. It's like a little liberal boy. Like, yeah, I mean, your wife said you have a small penis. It made you sad. You guys would get in a lot of fights. Now she's divorced, and you don't know what you're doing. And I get it. I mean, I don't. Like, I'm only 24. I'm not married. But, or 23 or however the fuck old I am. But, I mean, yeah, it just sucks. I mean, I just suggest going to therapy. It's okay. It's more. I've been told it's about like the motion of the ocean, as opposed to the size of the wave or some shit. I don't know. You can go to therapy. They'll help you out, bro. Hello. Hello.
What's up?
What's up? How old are you?
What happened?
I said, how old are you?
Oh, I'm 43.
Okay. Okay, boss man. You vote for Trump?
Yes, 3 times.
3 times. 1, 2, 3. Carmelo Anthony. Rhyming accidentally. Why'd you? How do you think Trump's doing right now? Let's just go there.
Well, it's still in the beginning, so things is going well, you know. So I'm fine with whatever he's doing. He's doing it for the long term. So America is being run by a real person.
Okay. Well, I feel like Donald Trump ran a lot about like fixing all these things because like inflation was happening because of like incompetent Biden policies, ushering in the golden age of America, all these things, and like obviously we've seen inflation is rising, the unemployment rate is rising. This is the slowest pace of hiring this country has seen since 2009. Consumer sentiment is at an all-time low. Like people are really struggling. Also, really quickly, CGen, I think. Thank you so much for $5 on the YouTube live chat. That goes such a long way. Absolutely love to see you covering the night shift to the live debates. Thank you. Thank you. Did I pronounce that correctly? Thank you so much. You're literally so kind. I never take that for granted. I hope you know. Thank you so much. It goes a long way. So anyways, sorry. Yeah, so like, I mean, obviously like a lot of people are feeling really negative about this Trump turn, especially even like Trump people because of the economy. So like, does that not like frustrate you at all? I mean, I feel like he ran on the idea of like fixing that.
Well, everything takes time, so time will tell.
But like,
But
don't you feel like? Sorry to cut you off. I just want to ask this question. I'm being very genuine. It's like Trump, like, you say it takes time, okay? But like Trump obviously ran his campaign off like, it's not going to take me time. Like I am Superman essentially. Like I'm gonna. He said twice, for example, on the campaign trail, I'm gonna solve the Ukraine war within 24 hours because I'm gonna make one phone call. And his premise there is not that he has some magical plan and that it might take me time. It's that we're being run by stupid and incompetent people. So all he has to do is make one phone call, and he'll get it done within 24 hours. Now, obviously, he says that and that didn't happen, but it's the same with like economically, what we hear about inflation or anything else, which is like day one, I'm going to usher in the golden age. The reason inflation is happening, Donald Trump's kept saying it was because of Biden spending. But as of right now, Donald Trump has not only spent more, he's on track to increase the deficit more than Joe Biden. He also said, inflation's happening because we're sending money to Ukraine. Donald Trump currently, sending weapons to, or selling weapons to NATO to send to Ukraine, allowing NATO to shoot ballistic missiles into Russia. Like all of these reasons that he claimed inflation was happening don't hold up to like this test here. So it's like, I don't know. I just don't understand. I feel like if I voted for Trump and I was under the impression, and again, that's why his poll numbers, I mean, when we look at, for example, a CNN poll from October of 2024, he was plus 10 on inflation, plus 10. Right now, that same poll has him underwater 26 points. That's a 36-point flip. And most polls, whether it's the Fox poll, showed the same thing very recently as well. Like 76% of Americans disapprove of where the economy's at and where it's heading. Like most people feel this and they kind of agree, I think, with that like general premise. I'm just curious why that doesn't like upset you. Like if it's like there's supposed to be a golden age and now there's not.
there will be. You just got to give it time. That's all. I don't live my life in panic. You know, I've done well for myself, so I can't live in fear. That's not how fate is. You can't live in fear.
Okay. I mean, yeah, I think for some people it's still like just like, damn, I voted for this and like I can't afford anything and like I'm gonna lose my house, which is like, that's pretty scary. And I'm gonna lose my house because like Donald Trump lied to me about like what he was doing economically.
No, Donald Trump didn't lie.
He didn't lie?
Still under Biden's. We still under Biden's residual. Trump
We're
Trump
still
stuff
under
hasn't
Biden's
kicked in.
residual. What does that mean?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
We still under Biden's economy.
Like, do you have any like metrics for that
It
besides
takes
just
it takes 2 years for Trump economy to kick in.
based on what? Why? Okay. Then hold on, time out. If that is true, then why did Donald Trump say he was going to usher in the golden age on day one? Was he
Because that's
lying?
what he's doing now.
Was he lying when he
That's
said?
what he's doing.
Where,
That's what
where,
he's
where
doing.
did you come up with like
it
the
takes time.
Where did you come up with the 2 years thing?
Okay, I'm 43. I've been listening to politics for years. You know what I'm saying? Each administration needs 2 years so they could get the right numbers so they know where they stand at. Because all the numbers don't come in at the same time.
Well, don't you think that
You
like
know what I'm saying?
don't you think that like a lot of the inflation, like for the inflation, for example, is being caused by like Donald Trump's policies right now?
No.
So what's causing inflation?
Inflation happened because we spend too much.
Donald
We
Trump
don't
has
know how to
Donald Trump has outspent.
we don't know how to turn it off.
Donald Trump
Some things
Donald Trump has
needs to go.
Donald Trump has outspent. I don't think this is a really. I just want to preface to everybody who's listening to this. This is a really bad way to explain how money flows in the government, but it's just going to be. We're just going to keep it real simple for a second. It's Donald Trump has outspent Joe Biden up to this point in his second administration compared to Joe Biden. In Joe Biden's administration, that's number one, and number two. Donald Trump just signed a bill, the big beautiful bill that adds $3 to $5 trillion with a T in debt-related spending over the next 10 years. It explodes the deficit and the debt, the big beautiful bill, by every metric, even the conservative ones. It's obvious because
Okay.
so again, I'm just saying, you say like inflation is being caused by this outrageous spending. Well, it sounds like Donald Trump is engaging in that right now.
But we have old spending we needs to like remember when Doge was we heard about all this money being
Well,
spent.
Doge was
we
just
need a real
Doge was just
we need to reel all that in. We need to reel all that in. We need to stop just spending our way
Doge was
just to try to be successful.
Doge was just disbanded.
Sometimes. No, you don't need to spend sometimes.
I was just gonna say Doge.
You gotta
I was
find
just-
you gotta find creative ways to do things. Everything is not about spending. Right now, Trump is budgeting. That's the thing y'all don't understand. You have to reel it in. You have to, you know what I'm saying?
Budgeting, fucking knowledge. Doge was just disbanded. Okay, from the moment Doge was disbanded, actually, literally this week, either yesterday, Monday or Friday. Okay, it no longer exists in the White House. From the moment Doge was created on January of 2025, to the moment it ceased to exist in the White House this week, the United States has added $2.1 trillion with a T to its debt in that time. That is $6.5 billion every single day for over 320 days. So again, like this whole Doge, like it didn't do anything. There were no mass arrests. There is no fraud.
You think it didn't do anything?
It did nothing. It actually cost Doge cost us more money than it saved.
It actually pinpoint where the money was being allocated. The U.S. aid. That's what's funding everything. All the illegal stuff. Soon as U.S. aid happened, the Democrats ran out and did a up to something. You know what I'm saying? They were now they can't fundraise. Donald Trump is outfunding Democrats right now.
So what about like all the debt related spending I'm talking about? Donald Trump like increasing the deficit.
Okay.
Like,
What is the Democrats' plan for the debt? Because we already see what's Donald Trump's plans for the debt is tariffs.
how are tariffs going to
Tariffs.
How are tariffs going to solve the debt?
Okay, now we get okay. Other countries don't have to tariff us. Now we in an even playing field. You know what I'm saying? All these countries that agree to the tariff, these are the tariffs they agree upon. They being tariff and we're being not because we're the number one economy. They need our economy. Every country needs our economy because we're a consumer economy. So he's building a new economy to get rid of income tax.
To get rid of income tax. Who pays the
Hmm.
tariff?
The companies,
The American companies.
yeah, the companies that's being tariff.
Yeah, so the American, like the American businesses pay the tax.
Look,
It's a
we've been
yes. Wait,
having
wait.
tariffs
It's a
since
yes or no
we've been
question.
having tariff.
It's a
We've
yes or
been having tariffs since
okay. It's a hold on.
2017.
Yeah, I
Our
know. I know.
economy is not crashed yet.
I okay. It's
2017. So you don't need to worry
it's
about
a no. We
that.
do.
That's something that's
It's
nothing. Not is not is none of your control.
okay.
It's implemented.
Okay. It's okay. It's a yes or no question. Are tariffs paid for by American businesses?
I already explained it to you.
It's
The
just a yes or
company
no
pays
question.
for it.
What
I
company?
gave you my answer. The
So yes or
companies
no?
who's being tariffed.
Okay, the
The
company
companies who's
who's
being
being tariffed,
tariffed.
so American businesses, right? So when you say like again, when you talk about like eliminating income tax or paying off debt, like obviously I want to be clear, like when the U.S. government is getting tariff money, I mean it's our money, right? It's that's number one. So I think that that's an important thing to preface. Number two, it would be the amount of like it would be probably the dumbest economic policy to ever exist ever, period, to suggest that we
No,
could eliminate.
no,
Hold on,
because
can I finish speaking? Can I please finish speaking?
before
Please,
we
no,
had
please.
income tax,
I have to be able to
we
finish.
had
I
tariff.
have to be able to finish speaking. I have to be able to finish speaking. Okay. Again, when we talk about like the difference here, I think that part of what we're lacking on this conversation is understanding the difference between a million, a billion, and a trillion. Okay. So a million seconds is 11 days. Okay. A billion seconds is 32 and a half years. A trillion seconds is more than all of recorded human history, just under 32,000 years, okay? So when we're having conversations about the fact that tariffs, for example, right now are, let's say on track to bring in, I don't know, it's already November. They might bring in like $100 billion this year or some shit for the American government. Or maybe it's a little more, maybe it's a little less. I don't remember off the top of my head. But regardless, that's like a record-breaking number, right? We're bringing in all this money. $100 billion is, if the U.S. budget every single year, if we spend, we'll spend, let's say 6 or 7, maybe 8 trillion. I don't know off the top of my head. We'll spend $7 trillion this year. That's 100 billion is a 0.01% of that budget. When we talk about the amount of money, the amount of revenue the government takes in from taxes, it's its main revenue source. Any amount of money from tariffs just simply pale in comparison to that. And you would have to have such a high tariff. You'd have to have like 1,000% tariff on everything to even get close to raising the amount of money that the government would need. I mean, just look at the deficit.
Oh,
The deficit alone, the United States right now, and the deficit just increased. Well, is going to increase because of Donald Trump's big beautiful bill. Our deficit is our deficit is $2.1 trillion, meaning we're spending $2.1 trillion more dollars every single year than we take in. If tariffs take in $200 billion, $500 billion, I mean, we're still not even getting close. And we're watching these tariffs right now at the levels they're at, $100 billion, increase inflation. And we know they're increasing inflation because the Fed has told us, hold on, can I please finish speaking? We know they're increasing inflation because the Fed has told us, because economists have told us, because the manufacturers have told us, because the retailers have told us. They've all told us that they're having to pass at least some amount of this cost onto consumers. So there is no world, it does not exist, where tariffs are giving. There's not going to be there's not going to be a check because of tariffs. There's not going to be like income tax eliminated for people under $150,000. It's an amount of money that is simply incomprehensible. They know that you're dumb. I'm sorry to say it like that, but they know the American people. Let me actually rephrase that. They think you're dumb. They think the American people are so stupid that they'll just fall for this. But again, when you just like have like when you just basically break down the numbers, it's like there's no way that we're bringing in enough tariff money to cover any of this. It's like pennies on the dollar.
You think that's the only thing he has in his arsenal? The tariffs?
I mean, that's what we keep talking about.
No, he has
How
other
you were
things
talking about
that's
eliminating the income tax? How are we going to do that?
yes.
How are we going
Just
to
get rid of it.
just why do we pay the government money? Let me ask you this: Why do we pay the government money? Why do we pay taxes?
We shouldn't be paying taxes.
Why? Where do our
That's
taxes go
against the
right?
Constitution.
Where do our taxes go right now?
Yes, we're overspending. Look all the money we sent to other countries.
Where do we get that money to send to?
We're over.
Where do we get that money?
That's our money. That's our work money.
Okay.
We being overtaxed.
Okay. So like we can't I just want to be clear, if we eliminate taxes and just get rid of them, then like I don't know who's delivering your mail or who's paving any of your roads or who's, I don't know how the military is getting
I
paid.
told you. Trump has a plan for all of that. Like I tell you, Trump has a plan for all of that. His plan is to get rid of the taxes. Then tariffs is going to be the new system that we're going to be in.
There's not
Tariff system.
There's not enough money.
Look, that you not okay. And then you remember he said he has the how you call it, that $5 million how you call that thing, that ticket thing, the gold card. Yeah, the gold card. He haven't implement that, and he hasn't implement his energy policy.
What is his?
That's going to bring so much money. And then when he brings the manufacturing back in 2 years,
Why is all this?
that's going to
why are all these things taking 2 years? And why is the first two policies you mentioned, which I'm going to ask about in a second, why have those not been implemented yet?
All right. There's a thing called like regulation, you know what I'm saying? Red tape. That's how things, you know what I'm saying? It takes time to implement things. You know what I'm saying? That's just how everything is. You know what I'm saying? Trump could get rid of the red tape if he wants to and just speed it up. But he's going through by the rules because he's not a rule breaker.
He's not a rule breaker. The convicted,
No.
the convicted felon who's been found liable for business
He
fraud.
did not go to prison. He didn't spend not 1 day in prison.
Okay, like 30% of people who are convicted of felonies don't ever see a day in prison. Might be higher than that. It might be like 40.
Well, Trump did not spend that one time in prison.
Okay,
Move on.
a bunch of convicted felons don't spend time in prison.
Move on. He's president. He's our president.
Dude, this is the most insane. I have to ask a question here. I mean, the guy chat. This is like the most insane. What is his energy policy? He said like he hasn't implemented his energy policy. Please enlighten us.
That's what he hasn't. So he hasn't even get on to that.
What is his policy? I'm asking what it is.
No, he hasn't. He hasn't even talked about.
Oh,
that.
he hasn't even fucking announced it.
He hasn't announced it. Did he announce anything about energy? No. Things gonna take time. Trump has a plan.
This has to be a troll.
You know what I'm saying?
There's no way. Please.
How am I trolling? I'm telling you what's going on.
Please save my faith in humanity. I
spent all your day-
I can't successfully run for Congress at any point in my life. I can't successfully do I can't continue this life of politics, whether it's potentially a run in my future or doing whatever I do. Having such, my faith in the American public right now is so low. And every time, I'm not even lying, every time I get off and I think about these issues, I actually genuinely, I have faith in the American public. I listen to speeches from Barack Obama, I read these books, and I'm like, you know what? The American public, we're a group of people, we're a group of good people, we can figure this out, we're smart, all these things. Americans don't let Americans down. Listen, but every time I get on TikTok Live, that is instantaneously eviscerated. Have you ever seen like a $750,000 taxpayer-funded missile just fucking like be tested like they do every single day. Our military just spends all this outrageous money, test missiles, eviscerate shit. Yeah, that's how I feel. I mean, eviscerate. All my hope in the American public, instantly eviscerated. You've got to tell me right now you're a troll. This is not real. You've been doing this as a joke. Please, I have to have faith in the American public or I cannot keep doing TikTok lives.
Roll for what? You spend all day listening to left. Listen to the right. Listen to what we saying. We part of America too. You don't think we don't want America great?
I think you do want America great. I just think
Okay, so we chose Donald Trump. Trump is gonna do what we ask him to do.
he's not doing that right now. Where are the Epstein files?
Oh, yes, he is. Yes, he is. It takes time.
Where are the Epstein files?
Y'all want instant gratification.
He
Life is
ran
not
on
like
instant
that.
gratification. He said
Look,
twice.
Trump is a big talker.
So it's our fault.
He's
Hold
a
on.
big
So
talker.
it's the American people's fault for expecting that the guy who said that he would do all these things instantaneously, it's our fault for expecting him to do them instantaneously. Why don't you fucking give some accountability to the goddamn president?
Grown-ups know things takes time to be make. Things just don't happen. Nothing you make just happen instantly. You just want instant gratification.
I feel like I'm just holding.
Come on, man. You gotta be smarter than that. You gotta be smarter than that.
I'm honest.
Y'all say y'all the smartest, but y'all panic so much. Look, you just gotta let it play out. Because you have no power. Democrats have no power to stop what Trump is doing.
I'm just holding.
They shut down the government thinking that they have power, but realize they have no control of anything that's going on.
Okay. Well.
No power. So this when we didn't have power, we didn't sit here and bitch like a little
Really?
person.
I'm pretty sure.
mobbed-
I'm actually
we-
pretty. I'm
no,
actually
no,
pretty.
no,
I'm
we
actually
didn't.
pretty sure you raided the Capitol with like tons of people and beat police officers over the head. Which, by the way, like several of those Capitol police officers, which I'll challenge you in a second to name any of their names, have since taken their own lives. Because of the stress, the PTSD, the fact that Trump and his people came after these Capitol police officers who claimed who they claim that were part of this deep state equation, that they were actually there to rig the election.
Oh, it's January 6th. Y'all pull out.
Because you just said, don't talk. You just said when we lose power, we don't bitch and moan. You killed people. You got people killed. You threatened to kill the vice president of the United States, and you stormed a federal building while Donald J. Trump claimed the election was stolen with no evidence. When you had no power, Donald Trump tried to steal an election, coup the United States of America, and he got charged for it, not just for January 6th, but for a fake elector scheme in places like Georgia, trying to take away, I'm a Georgia voter, trying to take away my rights to vote, for example. Like, what are we talking about here? Do you know any of the police officers' names who got beaten on January 6th? Who served an oath to protect our country, who served an oath to protect the Capitol, who got beaten over the head by people wearing Make America Great Again hats? Do you know any of their names? Do you know any of the names of the 1,500 January 6ers who are pardoned, who since then we have now heard that several of them have assaulted young girls? Have you heard about the guy who was rearrested after his assault on January 6th because he took a 7-year-old girl in the shower and forced her to do things with him? Do you remember? Do you know anything about this? What about the January 6er who was so drunk he drove on the she drove on the wrong side of the road and crashed into a car and got several people killed because of her DUI? Do you know any of these things? Of course you don't. It's so annoying, bro. Like, this is where I get mad. I go from like being like laughing to being mad. It's very fast. Because I'm just like, bro, are we serious right now? Okay, these are like human lives at stakes. It's crazy to me, bro. There are January 6th police officers who sat in their cars alone. Nowhere to turn. Death threats in their phones. The highest officials in the land saying that they were basically just ignoring them at best, at worst saying that they were, part of a deep state conspiracy. Brain damage, trauma, mental anguish from being attacked and doxxed. And you know what they did? They killed themselves. That's what they did. They sat in their own car after swearing an oath to protect, and they took their own lives. And none of these fuckers will ever know their names. None of them. None of them. They'll never know the names of the January 6ers who decided to assault, the January 6ers who were let out and then proceeded to beat their wives, the January 6ers who were let out and proceeded to grape little girls, the January 6ers who were let out and got charged with DUI, who got charged with trying to solicit minors, who got charged with all these things. You don't know any of their names. I'm just like, dude, these fuckers have no concept of how their words affect other people, and it really is tiring. Mad tiring, bro. Yo, Jay, thank you. I appreciate you. That's right. Yo, Chris in my YouTube chat. That's right. True Heroes. I agree. Fawn Tucky, thank you so much in the YouTube chat. I appreciate you a lot. Those were the heroes, yes. Brian Sicknick, rip, or rest in peace, 100%. Time to stop punching down. All right, bro. My TikTok chat is just going ballistic. Yo, I can't believe we're almost at a K viewers. Good to see everybody. Double tap screen. Accept a real off. How about you just, who the fuck is this guy? Zach.
There you go.
I swear to God, this is not who I think it is, bro.
I mean, I am the one and only.
The one, have we talked before?
I think we have.
Okay. How old are you?
I'm 39.
Simply, what's going on? Kentucky, what's going on? 39. Okay. And how do you feel about how Trump's doing?
I think he could be doing better, but I think relative to all other presidents, he's the radical reformer of our age.
Oh, no. This is not who I think it is. Now I've changed my mind about who I think it is, and I think it's someone different. Okay, the radical reform. Please continue. Why is he that?
So in 2016, in the primaries, I voted for Bernie, and I voted for him because of ideas like what became Trump RX, investing in Intel.
Oh my God.
Doing
Trump
sovereign
RX,
wealth
dude.
fund.
Somebody just fucking put me out of my misery, bro. What became Trump RX, dude? You cannot make shit like this up. Unbelievable. Continue.
I don't know how many more meetings he has to have with people like Mamdani for you to understand that Trump is not your standard Republican. He is, in fact, a radical populist reformer who has been able to come to power through a power base that is very Republican and right-wing. And the reason that I get on these panels is because I want people like you to recognize that this revolution would be much more blue if you lent your voice to this coalition, the same way that RFK has, the way that Tulsi Gabbard has, the way that Elon Musk did. If we stopped seeing each other as enemies and started to understand that this man only wants the best for this country and is willing to listen to any voice who doesn't see him as Schmittler or the devil, you could make an actual change instead of just being an obstructionist.
Well, my goal is not to be an obstructionist. I think that I understand what you're saying. I think that it's not possible for me because I disagree with the basic premise that we start with that you said, which is that Donald Trump wants what's best for this country. I don't think that's true. And I think that there's plenty that proves that. And so therefore, I think that working with him or a part of the movement is futile. And I actually think what's helpful for this country, what would be the position to take that would be, again, to get things done, is to remove or get past this time, remove Donald Trump from power, somebody, again, who I think only cares about himself, and then actually radically reform something like the Constitution and start to understand and protect, take a serious look at the guardrails around democracy and protecting them and ushering in a time in American history where we understand what led to Donald Trump getting elected. Because, 2016, the lead up to that was 20 or 30 years of American politics that a lot of people felt not listened to, felt like nobody cared. Politicians are all in it for themselves. Donald Trump comes on a stage and he says, I'm not them, I'm not Republicans, I'm not Democrats, I'm not taking their money, the famous fucking bullshit. And he was able to, capture a lot of these individuals and understandably their emotional upsetness, and then, wield it to his needs and lie so outrageously and consistently. And he does all that because number one, he cares most about power, and number two, he cares somewhat about enriching himself, like he's so clearly doing during this administration. And so I think it's actually more helpful if I spend my time examining the last 30 years in American politics and understanding how politicians failed normal everyday Americans, and then radically transforming our government so it actually works for people. So we make sure actually after this time, which I suspect if I was a betting man, whenever this time is over, Americans will all look at each other and go, well, let's never do that again, and we'll all have a sit down. We'll all start passing amendments to pass guardrails around democracy and make sure that our government is actually focused on the right people and the right things, and is not hyper political, and the president doesn't have this much power and all of these things. I think that's how I am best suited to help my country. And I think that, again, I understand what you're saying, but I just can't agree with the premise that I think it's laughable. I think you have to be living in an alternate reality to believe he cares about anybody but himself. I think that
Well, so let's just accept your premise, by the way, that his number one goal is Donald Trump, is the betterment of Donald Trump, right?
Sure.
I think that if Donald Trump, and I think he would rightly understand this, that if he comes in and fixes our broken government and starts to get our government working for the people again, it would make him the most popular president of all time. And that is the best thing that could ever happen to a billionaire on earth, right? Because where do you go from being a billionaire? Oh, you become the most beloved, most powerful president of all time. I think that you can see him sort of getting both things, which is, even if you don't believe that he cares about the American people, you can believe that he cares about Donald Trump, and that doing things for the American people will actually be good for Donald Trump.
I don't think, I understand what you're saying. And two things. I don't think it's ever a good idea to start with a premise that, again, our leader cares most about himself always and will always put himself first. But as a byproduct of that, because he wants to be liked, he'll care about us. I think that that's really flawed for several reasons. And with that being said, although, again, I understand the premise, I think we're making a lot of guesses about, more specific guesses about what Donald Trump wants and how he wants to be perceived and all of these things. I think it's very clear that he cares most about him. I've got some amount of, I'm not a doctor, but clearly some narcissistic tendencies. He never apologizes. He's very full of himself, all these different things. And he obviously cares most, at least in my opinion, about first power and then money. How he then perceives the rest of the world or what he's going to do, in relation to that, I think is just a guessing game. And at the end of the day, again, when you come up with a premise like that, oh, well, he cares about himself. He wants to be the most popular person ever because he's such a narcissist, which means that he has to have people like him. Again, I just think that's like a really dangerous, like when that premise could work up until like you lose an election and then you pump a bunch of misinformation and say, actually, I won, I'm the winner, I'm going to break down democracy and, engage in illegal activities like a fake elector scheme, and I'm going to send my supporters to the Capitol and beat police officers over the head because I actually think I won. So that premise works until it doesn't work, until the narcissist doesn't get his way and he can't retain power anymore. So,
Do you know how many presidents have been indicted after being president?
None. Well, I mean,
None. And he got 88 indictments. And I would say that difference, that radical difference, does not come from him being 88 times more corrupt than the previous presidents. It comes from what happens when you try to dismantle the system of corruption.
Wait, why can't
and they recognize it as a real threat.
Why can't it just come from what you said the first time?
I mean, because if we walked ourselves through the indictments, they are so full of shit. Really? And if you talk about a president like George W. Bush, who took us into 20 years of war in Iraq after what may or may not have been a false flag operation in New York, I think that it's quite possible to say that it is more likely that the outsized response to Donald Trump has to do with his outsized threat to the system of corruption that has existed in this government for 50 years.
Okay, actually, well, listen, I would actually really, Zach, we're going to have this conversation. I'm going to have to restart my live, though, because I've been restricted, and I would like my account to not get banned. So give me like 2 seconds here, Zach. I have a lot to say about that. We talked about false flag, but actually, I am gonna have to restart my live chat because I've been restricted. Sorry, Zach. Sorry for the suddenness. I mean, I guess I'll stay live on YouTube because, well, I don't know if my YouTube thing might glitch, but 131 people on YouTube. I appreciate you guys. Okay, I don't know why I was restricted. Let's see. I've just watched my view. Oh, it tells me up here. Thanks everybody for being in here. I'm having a good time. People seem to like, the YouTube studio. Where the fuck are my restrictions at, bruh? It just popped up, and then I literally watch my views just decrease. Okay, let me just. I think I got restricted for I don't know what, but I'm gonna end. And I'm gonna come right back. All right. I'm gonna end this live. Come right back. I'll be right back, everybody. Does this kid ever read chat? Yeah, John, I do. Your wife wants you to go join her in bed and take care of the kids, John. All right? All right, I'll be right back. I'll literally be right back. I don't know if my YouTube live was going to stay live. It might stay live. We're about to find out. Am I still live on YouTube? YouTube? Cartoon? I think I am still live on YouTube. Okay, yeah, I think we're good. Yeah. Yeah, because it's just my camera. It's just my virtual cam. So what's up, YouTube? What's up, guys? Oh yeah, of course, Teal. And again, I'm not hating on DSA. I support all people who are fighting against this administration. I'm just saying for my personal thing, it's not me. But okay, what's up, everybody? Yo, YouTube, thanks for all the kindness, bro. I was about to crash out on that dude. He 34 felonies convicted as a criminal. I know, and that logical. It's just oh yeah, he's fighting the system, therefore he gets indicted. It's just that doesn't make any sense. It's hard to listen. By the way, Kentucky, I think I saw, $5 a super chat. I appreciate you, Chris. Thank you. Yo, thank you. I'm hitting go live again here on YouTube. It actually, I'm sorry, on TikTok. It actually means so much. I hope you know, I don't take that for granted ever. It means the absolute fucking world. You are the best. You are amazing. Truly, I never take stuff like that for granted ever. Chris, Zach doesn't give a fuck about the U.S. as priority. What, bro? Okay. All right. I'm sorry. What is going on? How? My YouTube live. Oh, it's showing me my past live chat. Okay. We're good. Thank you for fire debating. I'm trying here. Have you passionate about that? I don't really debate. I just debate for fun. I know a lot of people kind of do debates more consistently. It's their thing. My main thing is posting videos. I post on TikTok. I post on YouTube. I'm going to the studio tomorrow to record YouTube videos, and I travel for politics. I travel to Spain. I traveled to Spain to speak, which was really cool. But I also travel I volunteer to help politicians, to help in any way I can, do a little bit of consulting here or there. I'm just I do a lot, but honestly, late at night, I'll debate for fun. And also I think it helps my brain get moving a bit too. And I always like to understand what other people are thinking. So yeah. 12 Mix, thanks so much for the $5 super chat. You're so kind. Fuck Donald Trump. I'm with you there. I love you. Seriously, thank you so much. I don't take that for granted. You guys are the best. Bubba already has. Got it. That was good. Hey, Chris, I'm so glad to see the newest voter generation evolve. Trying. Is that, I'm sorry, struggling to read here. Michelle, I think? Thank you so much. Truly, that means the world. Thanks for being here. You're so patient. It's impressive. Listen, you're very kind. I go back and forth. Sometimes on these lives, I'm super nice. People you're too nice. You're too patient. And then other times, full crash out. I'm I can't do this anymore. I try my hardest to be very authentic online. And so there's no people are I'm just very real with my emotions. I'm today's a day where I'm just fucking pissed. And I think people feel that. People feel that day to day with the politics. Where it's someone will start talking about Trump. Yo, thanks for the gift on TikTok. And I'm just I'm going to crash out, crash out. 136 people watching on YouTube. I appreciate you guys. What's up, TikTok? We are back. Chris is going to piss me off. Chris didn't see my comment. Chris is not paying attention to the TikTok comments. Yo, what's going on here, boss man? Tess, good to see you. Yo, you guys are the best. The young woman from Turkey's story was heartbreaking. Katie, I know. That, I truly come back to the States so fired up. I got off that panel, and I was can you guys come here for a second? And I pulled them to the side, and I was I am so, and I'm blown away. And I was I was just I appreciate you so much for telling your story. I can't even imagine the amount of bravery and courage it takes. and just like thank you. Thank you for being young and caring. Like you were serious. I told them all, I was like, you guys are all so inspirational. Like it's crazy. They were really nice people. Really nice. Thoughts on James Tallarico? Incredible. Incredible. Also, oh my God, Frank, $30, I think at 99 cents. Australia, is that A? I don't know, but you are unbelievably kind. Thank you so much. Can we get some W's in the chat for a Frank, bro? I never take this for granted. Thank you so much. Holy shit. Million W's for Frank. I really appreciate that. Sydney, I think it might be Australia. Frank, is it? Oh, it's the last name. Wow, I really appreciate you, seriously, from the bottom of my heart. I mean it. I don't take that for granted. Thank you so much. Truly, Frank. Like I hope you know every day I'm a caffeine addict these days. Buying caffeine or buying Celsius. I'm trying to figure out money as I've like moved in. I lived by myself. And I like moved across the country from my parents. I'm 23. And so like, I just hope you know that like when I see stuff like that, I never, ever from the bottom of my heart, never take it for granted. It means the absolute world. It's very supportive. So thank you. Thoughts on James Tallarico? Thanks for $1.99. You're so kind. Love James Tallarico, dude. James Tallarico is the man. Nothing to show count. I'm sorry, count. Oh, also, thank you for the $1.99, A12. It means a lot, seriously. Means a lot. Thanks for being, congrats on being selected for it. D, I appreciate you. You guys are all so fucking kind. Solidarity with Chicago. Loving it here in Chicago. Chi-Town. Illinois here. All right. You guys are the best. What's W for? Oh, it means like W as in like win. I guess it's kind of like it's like a live stream kind of like lingo thing. It's like if you're like W's in the chat, it means like, it's just like thank you. It's like I'm like, guys, spam some W's for, my guy Frank in the chat. And everyone's like W Frank, like Frank's just like a boss man. It's just like it's kind of like saying like thumbs up, Frank. Is that a good way to explain it? All right, TikTok, what's up? We're live on YouTube as well. Let's let some people up. Zach's back. I guess we'll go back to Zach and we'll see if TikTok gets angry. I like that, A12. I like that. It's definitely possible. Thanks again for $1.99. It means the world.
Maybe it was the comment about flags.
Well, I actually don't because it was before that. But dude, I can't. I'm not. I don't know if I can ask about that, bro. Please, who do you think did that event?
I think we did.
Why?
I think that, I mean, first off, I think there's two separate things. So one, it's why do I think it's not the story that we know, right? Why do I not think it's the planes? And I think that's very simply because it is impossible to watch those things go down and be like, oh yeah, that's what would have happened with just some planes hitting some things at the very top. It's impossible. If you've ever seen a controlled demolition, it's exactly what it looks like. There's just no chance. There's just no chance that these tiny little planes, it's like if a bird hit an oak tree at the top of the tree and you can just expect that the whole tree would collapse from its base. That's just a ridiculous thing. And then you have to ask, well, what happened as a result? And the result was trillions and trillions of dollars flowing into our military-industrial complex over the next 20 years as we sort of actualized a whole bunch of pro-oil, pro-military-industrial complex, objectives.
Got it. Okay. So I'm just going to let that sit there for a sec because, I'm just going to get back to the topic at hand for a second. Also because TikTok. But back to I guess I just need to understand. I understand. So Donald Trump. Okay, so the indictments are because he was fighting against. I guess I have to ask this: when you said that the indictments, he's indicted 88 times total or whatever it is, because he's fighting back, and there's no way he's 88 times worse than everyone else. Which I don't know if that's it doesn't matter. The point being, thank you for the gift there. That means a lot. Why is that? Like, don't you think that there's a lot of when I think about something like that and like the premise there, it's like, okay, so you're telling what we're like when we look at his indictments for example, some of the strongest case, I'd argue, the DOJ case, and the documents case was in South. Jesus, it's been so long. Was the documents case in South Florida? I think that was the.
It was in Mar-a-Lago.
Okay. No, no,
So
well,
in that instance specifically, right? Let's talk about the documents.
really quickly, and then we will.
Sure.
I just was gonna, no, I was just gonna say that that like that, for example, where, like, the documents are clear, like we have clearly have a timeline of the National Archive requesting documents back, the FBI requesting at some point the documents, and then, walking into Mar-a-Lago and the documents all over the floor and on audio. There's an audio recording of Donald Trump, admitting that he knows that the documents are not that he knows the documents are classified. He says, quote, "I could have unclassified these when I was president, but I didn't. Isn't that interesting?" And so he's actually admitting that he knows that he's holding classified documents and he's showing them to people without a clearance. It's like, okay, we go from that to, maybe some, the other case about January 6th or the other case in Georgia about the fake electors. And it's like, so you're telling me all of that was what? Perpetrated because he's like a bad man trying to take down the system? Is it all fake evidence? Do the judges know? Do the lawyers know? Do the grand juries know? I mean, like, how do we get from
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
That's a totally legitimate way to feel about that. And I would say that the truth of the matter is not that Donald Trump has never done anything wrong. But again, in the past, people have done things that are wrong and they just don't get the same response. And so it's really not that I'm saying, it's sort of like when you say, like, oh, it's like white people get off when they have D-drug charges. And it's like, it's not because the problem is not that we're saying that they're innocent, right? Or that people of color are innocent when they have D-drug charges. It's that there seems to be a selective sort of outrage or a selective sort of enforcement when it comes to people that we don't like, right? Or people that we view as needing to be taken care of in a different way. And I would say that, like, in a lot of ways, what we see with Donald Trump is that he had a different response from the system that normally protects powerful people, that normally protects politicians. And you saw it on both sides. You saw Republicans abandoning him. You saw Democrats abandoning him, which to me looks more like there was a sort of a consensus amongst the system. And the system, by the way, is very much the Republicans too. I'm very much a uniparty kind of guy. Like, this is both sides. I would say that. And by the way, this is why it's so hard to understand some of the things that happens while Trump has been president, where you're like, I don't get it. Like, are the Republicans fighting him? Are they helping him? What, like, especially in the first term? And it's like, no, they were fighting him. They were always fighting him on both sides because the united interests of the uniparty were being attacked by this singular figure. And there was a sort of a mounted response from both sides.
Interesting. Okay. I guess in that, my question would be, I guess going back to, I understood your premise, but your opinion in relation to that, your opinion on if Donald Trump, do you believe that Donald Trump cares about the country itself, or do you believe that he maybe cares about himself and being liked, and so therefore it's a byproduct? Like, what's your personal belief on that? Is it what you described? Is it what you described earlier, or would you say something different?
No. Listen, I think if you sort of look at Donald Trump's history, if you go back to the 80s and the 90s and you watch every time that he gets brought on TV, Donald Trump has opinions about how things should work. That is, like, it doesn't matter whether it's sports teams or the government or whatever it is. And he has been consistently saying since the 90s that America is being ripped off by this system of power that is screwing us over, that is taking our tax dollars and misspending it to an egregious level. And I think that whether he cares about America, it's sort of like being like, do I care about the Redskins when I like say that they can do better? It's like, nah, it's not that I care about them. I just, like, I want them to do better because, like, they represent me, right? In Washington, or what are they, the Commanders now? I grew up with the Redskins, but I think that Donald Trump cares about this country being a good representation of itself. And when he sees the American people being ripped off, I think he feels a little bit like, it's not that he like, oh my God, he loves America and he's just like some big bald eagle flying, like what is like patriot. That's like not him. He's just like he's like a very successful businessman who looks at America being ripped off and says like, hey, I could do better. And he's doing quite a bit better. Do you know, in New York City, where I lived, I don't live there anymore, I live upstate, but in New York City, they just recently built a bathroom near Tompkins Square Park, which was the park that I used to live on. And they spent $4.6 million on 4 bathrooms, like on a 4-stall bathroom. And I say that just because that's like a super local version of government misspending your money, right? Because I could build an apartment complex for $4.6 million. And if you don't understand how egregiously it's happening at the top level, it's hard to get angry about America sort of on all sides. But you know, when you see things like 47 billion for rural internet, not really causing much internet to be made, especially in the era of Starlink, where they literally could have just sent people $200 a month to turn on Starlink in their rural neighborhoods. Like, but we don't. We spend egregious amount of money that finds its way into NGOs and nonprofits, and this system of corruption that has become so normalized on both sides that it is hard to move it. But it takes someone who has spent his entire life getting results to do that. And even him is having to fight against the system on both sides, which is why I beg people of a liberal persuasion to join this thing. Also, by the way, because like when people talk about the bad, you know, the Stephen Millers and the JD Vances of that coalition, like those are the guys I'm worried about, because they really are ideologues. Right? Those are establishment politician ideologues. And I want the RFKs and the Tulsi Gabbards and the Elon Musk, the people that have been fighting the systems, I want them to win. I want them to be the future of our government. I don't want JD Vance to be the future of our government.
Interesting. Okay. You know what? I'll tell you this, Zach. I haven't heard this. I have not really heard this take, so I'll think on it. It's 2 a.m., so I'm gonna cycle some people up. But I appreciate you making me think a bit, and maybe we'll talk again some other time.
It was a good chat, dude. Thanks a lot.
All right. Thanks, man. Be safe. Interesting. I don't fucking know. Yeah, I mean, I definitely have like a lot of thoughts. We'll cycle a few people up here. I'm burnt. Yeah, I mean, I think there's. I do also want to say that, like, yeah, I don't know that. Again, I don't know that, like, yeah, America is certainly not efficient. Our government, I mean, is not efficient when we build things like public things. When we build like public like I don't know what he's describing. Let's just say like public restrooms, stalls in the park or whatever, or roads. Like, yeah, it costs an egregious amount of money because it's not efficient. I think most of the time that's probably a different issue than it being corruption. Although, you know, fucking, I don't know. Like the whole premise and basis there is interesting. I don't know. I honestly, just to be completely honest, I don't really have there's levels to this, okay? And right now, there's a lot of Americans who I think are still bought in to Donald Trump. I think there's momentum that Democrats have right now to vote for people who really care about this country. We dominated the elections, 2 or 3 weeks ago. I also just like have fun up here. And so those three things combined, I'm like, when I hear something like that, I'm like, look, I'm tired. And this is going to take me significantly more thinking to do and like processing power than other things. And I'm tired and I would like to have some fun, but I also like to do what I think is most effective, and I think that, like, whatever. But maybe we'll talk to that guy again soon. I just need to, like, fucking cycle some people up. But yeah, I think, like, logically, when we talk about, like, this two-party, uniparty, and, like, that's why Donald Trump is, like, hated so much, no. Wrong. It's just wrong. Okay, if you're a Trump supporter, let me know. I'll bring you up. I believe that count. Yeah, I believe that. It's 2 a.m. and we want you. That wore me out too. Yo, Jay, appreciate being here. Okay. Jesus, we live in a society. Bring a homie up. Hello.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I'm a Trump supporter.
Okay. How old are you?
62 years old.
You said 63?
62.
62. Oh, wait. Have we talked before?
Yeah, I talked to you.
Oh my goodness.
That's good, yeah.
You're back again. Your profile picture has changed.
Oh, it's still the same.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, I schooled you a couple of times.
You schooled me.
Yeah, you remember?
I don't remember. I don't remember schooling. I do remember talking.
Yeah, I schooled you a couple of times.
Okay. Well, how do you feel that Donald Trump? We got inflation rising, the unemployment rate rising. People are unhappy. I'm not suggesting. I'm just factually right now. We have a lot of. We have consumer sentiment at an all-time low. We have his poll numbers. The same polls that showed. The same polls that really got him elected when he was plus 10 on inflation, for example, have him minus 30 on the same issue, inflation, economy, all these things. So, what's going on with Trump right now, man? What's happening? Where's the golden age?
Well, the thing is, people don't know how to see a rough time through. You got to see a rough time through to get to a good spot. That's what I done been through in my life, and that's what happened with the country right now. He taking us from a time of weakness and failure, and he bringing us into a time of prosperity. And y'all got to be ready for the rough time. It ain't easy to get into that spot, but we getting there.
Okay, but don't you think it's like kind of frustrating for Trump to like run on the idea that he could do it all instantly and then it's not instant? I think that's what like annoys a lot of people, and it confuses me. It's like, Trump didn't like he wasn't successful because he had some plan for the economy that's never been thought of before. He was successful because he ran fundamentally on the idea of I'm not Democrats, I'm not Republicans. These people are all dumb as shit, and if you vote for me, I'll just get it done. That's why he said twice during his campaign, I'll make one phone call, I'll end the Ukraine war within 24 hours. And it's not because he has some massive plan to end it. It's because I'm Donald Trump. I can do these things. I'll usher in the golden age on quote day one. We'll crush inflation quote on day one. So it's like I just feel like it's frustrating that he says that, and now we're like 9 months in, and like everything's worse.
Well, that's what a businessman do. A businessman is a salesman. Is a salesman. A businessman is a salesman. A salesman gonna sell you a thing, a dream. It may not come as quick as he think it is, but it's gonna come, and that's what he did, and that's what I know. And so we getting there. We is.
Okay. So
And what?
what do you think about the Epstein files?
Well, the thing about that is, well, if you really think about it, this was 20, almost 20, 30 years ago when all that happened. And not saying that don't make it right, but what I'm saying is it's been so long since all that happened. And the people that was involved was held accountable. They was. They held everybody accountable that was involved in it. And now they want to come back and say, oh, there's some more people. There ain't no more people.
Okay.
Them people is dead.
If you, but like some of the information we got, like the emails, it clearly showed like Donald Trump may have been kind of had a closer relationship to Jeffrey Epstein than maybe previously. I mean, it was understood that they were friends, but maybe closer to what Jeffrey Epstein was up to than people previously understood. So if you found out, let's just say hypothetically, if you found out that Donald Trump knew about what Jeffrey Epstein was doing and was just friends with him, buddy, and just hanging around him, but he knew the whole time, would that change your opinion of Trump?
Well,
Would that make you change your opinion of Trump?
I would say I would be a little disappointed because I know he could have stopped talking to him a little bit sooner than he had been. But that ain't gonna make me stop supporting him.
A little disappointed?
Yeah, people make mistakes. People gonna make mistakes, especially something that old as that. That was, back in the 80s, back in the 90s.
This is the most
Not
prolific.
saying,
This is like the most prolific sex trafficker and like frankly like demon human being of what's the word I'm looking for? Like one of the most prolific evil human beings of our I don't know, prominent human. Like he is like the stories about what he would do and Ghislaine Maxwell would do are so evil and like
yeah,
deprived. It's
yeah.
so like when you say like a little, you'd be a little disappointed. I mean, I think that's like a,
Yeah, I mean, that man was a real bad man, and that woman's a bad woman, and they both been punished. And I don't think it make any sense to bring Trump into something that they done already got the people involved. They punishing them.
Well, what
And
about?
then what you say?
Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say back in the 90s that was going on all the time. People were doing things like that all the time back then, and it was wrong. But that happened so long ago. You ain't really gotta talk about it no more, 'cause we the different people.
Okay, but like, this is like like kidnapping, trafficking, like rape, like it's not like just like we're not talking about. Yeah,
Yeah, no. And what I'm saying is, it was a different time back then, 'cause it was people didn't have the entertainment that we do today. You had serial killers and murderers and bank robbers and things like that. It was a different time back then. People more calm these days.
oh, okay, yeah. I mean, what about like a lot of the families and the families of victims and survivors, like they really want Trump to like release the files because they're like, he's let us down, like we voted for him, and like my sibling or my family members like went through a life of like pure hell, being like trafficked to islands, and
Yeah, and that's terrible. And what I would say to them is, Jeffrey Epstein is dead. He was in prison when he died. Anger Lane is in prison, and that print ain't no print no more. So everybody that been involved been held accountable. Ain't no more there. Ain't no more there.
So do you think that Donald Trump was involved?
No.
So then why is this like he went from releasing them, he's like I'm gonna release them, to not, to saying like we're getting the files, to saying the files don't exist. Like he's been pretty back and forth. So why doesn't, like, he could just stop all this right now and just release the files if he's not involved?
Well, I think he understands that there's a lot of stupid people out there, and these people will run for anything. And I think he know there's a lot of innocent people in them files, and just because their name is associated with Jeffrey Epstein, they automatically bad. And so he's trying to protect them people. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I just feel like if that's the case, he shouldn't have run a campaign on releasing the files.
I agree.
Oh my goodness. Oh, dude, I can't do this world anymore, man.
You ain't suicidal, is you?
What?
You ain't suicidal, is you?
I'm sorry, say that again?
I said, is you suicidal?
No.
Okay.
No, I'm just. It's just late. I don't know. I don't know. Listen, Claiborne. You're welcome back anytime. We've talked before. Let me psycho a few people up because it's getting real late here. All right, we'll talk again soon.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, be safe.
You too.
Shit, dude. Oh. Bro. Okay, all right. Jesus Christ, I'm sorry, guy. I'm laughing out of. Now I'm at like the point of like, slap happy is not the right word. It's like when you become so like kind of depressed, not depressed, like just in this general conversation where I'm hearing shit like this, so like sick, kind of, where I'm just like, then it's just like shit is so bad and I'm just like, my body's the only reaction left is to laugh. I'm just like, I cannot believe what I'm listening to right now. But it's like actually genuinely just like it's horrible. I mean, this is just, again, listening to that, thinking about like Virginia Giuffre and her family and the things that they've talked about. And it's just like, okay, well. Chris, why do you sound like that? I think it's just like glitch. It's like a TikTok glitch. You gotta scroll out and back in if my mic's not, but I'm also live on YouTube. The guy was for real, that dude said that Epstein did what he did because he got hit. Wait. That dude said that Epstein did what he did because they didn't have enough entertainment back then. Yeah, that was him. Yeah. Yes. No, May, literally exactly. Oh, a maniacal laugh reaction. It's like when people get hit with extreme grief and laugh involuntarily. Oh, that's interesting. Yo, YouTube chat's funny, bro. YouTube chat fucking makes me laugh, man. Dude, Jake, you can't stay proud liberal, bro. Oh my god, dude. Fuck. Okay. Bro. That's... Okay. Lock in, dude. Lock the fuck in. Lock in, bro. Oh, Mads, it's so good to see you. It's so good to see everybody. Bro, stop, dude. It's not funny. It's not funny. It's not a funny thing. Oh, fuck. Okay. Dude. What the fuck are we doing, man? What are we doing? Jesus Christ. Okay. Connor, really good to see you. AJ. Amanda, good to see you. You have an owl in your hoodie? Okay. Hootie who? How about the anyone here Kennesaw State fan? I'll graduate from that university one day. Not today, not tomorrow. Blue, good to see you. Ken's, it's always a pleasure. And Alicia, thanks for being here. Noah, thank you so much. J2 says, calm down, dude. Okay, well. Benj, I appreciate you. Hey, Chris, I'm your biggest fan. Yo, Kristen, I appreciate you so much over there in the YouTube live. I appreciate you. Carrie, it's always a pleasure. Thanks for being a great mod. I love everybody. You guys are the best. Amanda, Carrie, thank you guys so much. Hello?
Hey, how are you?
You know, living in a society. How old are you?
That was a lot.
Yeah, I feel like you just like commented. What'd you comment here? You said, calm down, bro.
Well, I've sent a number of messages. Like, I would
Bro, I feel like we never match the energy that I get from the comments. You know, it's like someone's talking shit and then I bring them up. It's like, wow, that was a lot, wasn't it? I'm like, wait a second, you just were talking. He said, well, I've sent. I said, well, it sounds like you were talking shit in that message. He said, well, I've sent a number of messages. So,
no, not. I have not talked shit to you. I would love for you to come to Missouri for any number of fundraisers.
Oh.
For Democrats.
Oh, okay. Wow. Okay. No, I'm sorry. But maybe I misunderstood J2. I apologize. I'm sorry. I'm in a goofy mood. I'd come to wherever their Democrats are at. I'm helping, fight against this administration. I'm there. Just DM me some information.
I will absolutely do that.
Cool. I appreciate you.
You know, Missouri is one of the states. So we're going under redistricting. That's being litigated right now. I serve in the state legislature.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, wow.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm really honored, by the way, that you took me up here.
Yeah. No, sorry for my first comments. I think I mistook you for somebody else.
You are all good.
My bad.
You are all good. I mean, you're like a superstar.
I don't know about that.
I've followed you for a long time, and I'm not a cat. I'm a silly guy.
Sorry, that was actually funny. I mean,
but if there is any state that should give hope to all of us, it was Missouri last year, because I, along with 4 of my colleagues, like Missouri elected 4 LGBTQIA officials to the state house. Most people wouldn't believe that.
Yeah,
it happened.
Yeah. Well, that's incredible.
Yeah, it is. It
And I
really,
actually, I also would have,
truly
I would have not
is.
guessed, I would have not guessed that from Missouri. I would have said so.
Yeah. So, and I am a lot older than you. Um, I'm a lot older than you. Uh, it. I just feel so blessed that I'm a part of that. Um, I never thought that would be possible in my lifetime, but you know, there is that opportunity. And dude, if you ever want to come to Missouri, like I will send you a message. I don't know how exactly to do it because I'm not really good on TikTok, especially other than going on these lives. Um,
Well,
I would love to have you come here.
Well, 100%. Well, listen, you can, yeah, like you can, anyone, you can message me from on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, or there's like an email in my bio too. And I often tell people like anyone can message or email whatever's easiest. And yeah, 100%. Like if there's a way I can help in Missouri politics, I would, like, I'd always love to. Always like help help find the good fight.
So Missouri used to be blue.
Mhm.
Like you look young enough that you might not remember that.
Probably not, actually.
Yeah.
It's
So 2017 was our last Democratic governor, who actually happens to be one of my neighbors. Um, and then we went just so hard, hard right. And we have the biggest opportunity in my lifetime in this state. I'm sorry, something funny.
no. I'm sorry. I'm trying to fucking focus. I'm sorry. There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on my. I'm sorry. Continue,
That's fine.
please.
That's fine. Um, this midterm, we have the biggest opportunity, not only in Missouri, but across the country, to flip seats, and we cannot miss that opportunity.
Right.
We cannot miss that opportunity. So I appreciate everything you're doing. I really appreciate you bringing me up because I've followed you for quite some time.
Of course.
But
I appreciate that genuinely. Like genuinely, it means a lot.
so I have no idea where you're from.
I'm originally born in Georgia, in Atlanta, and then now I'm in Chicago.
Yeah.
Now I'm based in Chicago.
Oh, so I mean that's a quick trip down to
To
St. Louis.
the great state of Missouri. What are you saying?
Well, we're hoping to make the state great again.
The state great again. Well, you got to be careful with that first. Well, listen. Yeah, if there's any way,
No, I
uh,
really appreciate
yeah,
it.
I'd love to help get
I
involved in.
appreciate everything you're doing.
Of course, genuinely,
Yeah.
and thanks for being a state legislator down in Missouri. Keep fighting the good fight. And yeah, you can like again throw any information to an email. I mean, I think it's easier to if you like email the email in my bio.
Okay.
And yeah, we can figure out a way to fight the good fight against to help Democrats win in Missouri.
Well, we are trying to flip. Uh, we're trying to flip the state in the House. Uh, we're not going to do it this year, probably. But we have got to make major gains.
Yeah, Well,
So
it's going to be big
anyway,
midterms across the country. So, I like the polling. I think it can happen all around the country. Okay, let me cycle a few people up. Again, I appreciate the kind words. Seriously, it means a lot. And thanks for like
all
saying,
right.
following for a
Thank you
while.
for
Like,
having me up.
yeah, thanks for coming up here. Sorry for the way like we started again. I thought you
No worries.
were hating, but you're not hating and you're
No, I'm not hating
not hating.
at
I
all.
appreciate it. Okay, cool. I'm sure we'll talk soon. Be safe.
Okay.
Thanks, man.
See ya.
Okay. My head hurts. My head like actually hurts at 2:15 in the morning. Um, bro. Okay, I think there's not a helium tank. No helium tanks. It's just the TikTok glitch. You have to slide in, slide out. That's all. Bro. Okay. Just guys, be cool. He's a nice guy. I would like to help out in Missouri politics in whatever way I can. Whatever way. No, but on a serious note, like the idea that I tell people all the time, like again, I do this because I'm very passionate about it. So obviously, like I have to be able to pay rent, and I'm really lucky to be able to like do this, whatever the fuck all this is, YouTube videos and TikTok videos, all that shit as like a living, and like politics in general. But I will go wherever like they can help in any way. If I can help in any way, like just tell me when and where, and like, you know. I went to Spain. For fucking. It was a literal. I was in Spain for 24 hours, and 6 total flights over 3 days. But it's like, I don't need money for that. Fucking, if I can speak on a panel and tell Europeans that we hate Trump and build some connections and fight the good fight, that's the plan. So, yeah. No, stay safe for sure. Stay safe. That's what you gotta do it. Okay, Mads, bro. Oh my. I'm fucking losing my mind. I'm crashing out. Xavier, good to see you. Good to see you. How very cool. Yo, proud liberal. I appreciate you. Yo, WCI, I appreciate you. Where can I get this blanket? I think this is an UGG blanket, actually. Let's find out. And I think I got it off Amazon a while ago because it was on sale. And it's hella soft. Yep. Ugh. Okay. I appreciate all the love, everybody. With that Democrat money. All right, bro. Well, yeah, what is Jordan? Okay, we're gonna do one more. We're gonna do Jordan. No, it's okay, man. We live in a society. Is it polyester? I don't know what it is. It's a blanket. It's not polyester. It's a blanket. I'm not funny. It's not funny. No, I actually don't know what material it is though. It's definitely like these are like the blankets I like because it's not like super like it's like this actually might be some polyester. I don't know. Probably like a mix. Okay, wait, hold on. What the fuck? George's been in here fucking forever, just bitching in the comments. Like he's watched this live for like an hour straight, but he's always bitching. Like my daughter has one. It's super soft. Yes, Ash. There you go. Ash might know because I'm kind of dumb. She might know what it's made of. It's dope. Ash, thanks for being here. Hello,
What's good, Chris?
bro. You just keep talking so much shit, but you've been in here for like how long? You been in here?
Probably like 10, 15 minutes. I
Yeah,
saw that old guy that was mumbling and then the drunk
So you've been in here
Missouri guy.
You've been in here for like an hour. What do you need? How old are you?
31.
You're 31 years old. Okay.
Is that a problem?
Yeah, what can I help you with?
No, you're talking about the Epstein files. Why didn't Biden release them?
Because the Department of Justice was in like for the last 70 years in American history, we've had like DOJ independence, and now because Trump's in the White House, the executive branch works like fundamentally way differently than it ever has, and so Donald Trump use the Epstein list as a political talking point. And when he got in power, he signed Schedule F, an executive order that gave him the ability to reclassify federal employees, and he started mass firing federal employees for the first time ever, at least from the president mass firing these employees for the first time ever, and he replaced them with loyalists and started hiring based on loyalty. And so now we see like Pam Bondi, for example, take direction from Donald Trump. Donald Trump says, I want to go investigate this person, do this, and Pam Bondi literally stands next to him and says, yes, sir, we'll do that. That's unprecedented in modern American history. That's never how our government has operated. Whether you agree with it or not, it's just never how it's operated before. And so Biden had nothing to, he didn't know anything about the Epstein files. It would have been largely very inappropriate for him. And I think he believes this, and most, people who are sane believe that it would have been inappropriate for him to involve himself in ongoing DOJ investigations. That's why his son was indicted. And they said, how do you feel about your son being indicted? And he said, well, I trust the DOJ to do whatever the DOJ does. He didn't know anything about that until his son was indicted. Now the government is these executive branches are hyper politicized. The DOJ is hyper politicized, and so they're not focused on what's best for the American people. They're focused on what Donald Trump needs done politically. They never would indict, for example, Donald Trump's son or anyone who they're hired based on loyalty. That's why Biden didn't release the files, AKA you have no understanding of how government works. You have no understanding of the basic ins and outs of the executive branch that you should have learned, taken, 5 or 10 minutes to learn on Google at some point in your 31 years of existence, but you never did.
I agree Trump ran on releasing them, but you have these Democrats who are outraged, but they didn't have that same outrage when Biden was in office. Biden could have released them.
Didn't I just
Jeffries and Chuck. You didn't explain it at all. Biden could have released them. You're saying, oh, well, it's not Biden's job, conflict, this and that. Biden could have
I'm going to bed. I also want to point out that a bunch of the Epstein files were not even this has been an ongoing investigation, and I don't know the exact date that some things started to be subpoena, court documents started to be actually publicly released or allowed to be publicly released. There's some date in that, but again, that's just listen. I'm sure you're a respectful guy, and we can talk again sometime soon. Truly, I don't even mean to be a dick. I'm just tired. But yeah, no, it's just our government didn't work. That's just not. Our government works in such a fundamentally different way now than it did a year ago. It's almost hard to fathom. And so, if you would have told someone 5 years ago, if you would have told someone 10 years ago that the president was going to be directing the Department of Justice to do things, if you told a Democrat or Republican that in Washington, D.C., their head would you'd watch their head explode, catch fire. They'd be like, what the fuck? That is unprecedented. But here we are. So, I don't know. And there's also other stuff that goes into that. Because again, I think there's grand jury testimony or something that was, it was an ongoing investigation. So I don't think, it wasn't Joe Biden's job. It was not Joe Biden's job. And I would have been upset. I think Joe Biden's standpoint on this is, I have no idea what's going on with the Epstein files. I trust that the Department of Justice is investigating it, and I'm not going to get involved. Why do we not want Joe Biden to get involved with that? Because when the president gets involved, when things become political, then bad things happen, right? When things become political, then people who are close to the department, take it like this. Oh, why didn't Joe Biden release the Epstein files? Again, when we hyper politicize these branches and the president gets involved with ongoing DOJ investigations, in modern American history, you've always wanted this. There's been this general idea of these three-letter agencies: the DOJ, the FBI, the CDC, the SEC, being largely insulated from political pressure. Where you're literally watching the effects of those agencies not being insulated from political pressure right now, because Donald Trump fires all these people. It ends up filling these places with loyalists, and an ongoing DOJ investigation that related to the Epstein files is now a complete fucking shit show because we can't get the correct justice that we normally could get because it's become political. Because the only reason that we started on this whole, we have the files, never mind, we do, is because Donald Trump is all over the files, and it became a political mess. And so the DOJ their main job wasn't getting justice for Americans. Their main job was focusing on, okay, what's politically advantageous for the president? And in that, what else did we see? The survivors the family members of a lot of what happened with Jeffrey Epstein, they're way worse off. Their lives have become a living hell because of, again, now the DOJ has this huge political element to it that it never has had before. And so again, like this is like a really great example of like how this in my opinion, it's never how the Constitution was intended to be. And the thing is, in all of that, I don't think people realize that, people like Russ Vought. Russ Vought is the head of the Office of Budget and Management, I think. He was an author of one of the chapters or several chapters in Project 2025. And this is not an exaggeration. But when we talk about like unitary executive theory, which is what I'm describing, the idea that the president should actually have complete control over these agencies, the Department of Justice, the FBI, he should tell these agencies to do whatever he wants. It doesn't matter. There is no such thing as independence. There's no such thing as DOJ independence. There's no such thing as No, this is all just whatever the president says goes. There's been fringe conservatives, really fringe conservatives, who have believed in this theory, unitary executive theory. It's Project 2025 is essentially arguing for unitary executive theory. There are fringe conservatives who have believed in this for the last 30 years, and they have worked tirelessly every day to get to this point. Russ Vought is one of the individuals who's been working for decades under the belief that this is how the government should operate. And every single day he wakes up and is literally, and again, I'm not exaggerating here. When we go all the way back to the conversation we were just having with this guest, why didn't Biden release the files? You zoom in, Russ Vought has been working tirelessly for a decade to get to this point now where he has the keys to the castle. And there is no such thing as this bureaucracy anymore. There's unitary executive theory, and Donald Trump can wield these political agencies at will, and he is sitting in one of the driver's seats and is essentially Russ Vought is helping rip it apart. And now it's all hyper-political. Now Russ Vought gets to help money flow where it needs to flow and hire and fire based on loyalty, and he, talks to the president. These are fringe, borderline white nationalist conservatives. A lot of them are white nationalists, conservatives, who have this fundamental belief that this is how the Constitution was intended to be. And they wake up every single day in this administration jizzing their pants every single day because they never thought that this was possible. Some of them have worked decades arguing in these insanely fringe circles. DC would never even let them in, suggesting that actually there's no such thing as independence in these agencies and unitary executive theory is what we must do because I'm a white nationalist and I this, and this. And here they are. They've gotten their wish. And it's part of the answer to the last guest question. Our government works in a different way. That was kind of a rambling mess because it's 2 a.m., but I think that's that. All right, listen, guys, I'm going to bed. I love literally all of you in YouTube and TikTok. This has been an electric stream, one of my best in a while. People really do like this setup, so I'll be live here again tomorrow. I love you guys so much. You're the best. Nat, thank you. Thank you to all my mods in the chat. You guys are literally the best. Everybody, Beth, Nat, Mads, you're making me laugh. Oh, there you are. Wait, no, you're making me laugh. Ken's, Jackie, wait. No, I'm sorry. I've got to go to bed. I'm so tired. Souls. Loud Liberal Lashes. If anybody wants to check out my panel that I spoke on in Spain, there's some really impressive voices on that panel. Truly if you want some inspiration from some young individuals who have done real work for democracy, not fucking videos on the internet. These people are really impressive to listen to. There's a YouTube video that I have posted on my channel of it. Yes, so thank you guys so much, truly, to everybody in the comments. I love you, and I hope everybody knows. Connor, Beth, Brittany, thank you to everybody. Bren, you're the best. Horns up. Tristan, Kendi, it is always a pleasure to see everybody in here. You guys are the best. To the YouTube live stream, Jay, thanks for being kind tonight. It was good to see you all in the chat. Super, May, you're the best. Never, and Ninja, Tommy. I just want everybody in here to know from the bottom of my heart, I never take anyone for granted. Every single person in here I love and I appreciate, and I know that there's a lot of people that go live, they debate, they're political or they're not any of that, they're just content creators, and it's they read their chat and they laugh and they're just I don't know, oh okay, I'm getting off, goodbye, oh thanks so much for the donation, whatever, and then they just it's just they just see it as I'm trying to let everybody in here know, whether it matters to you or not, how unbelievably grateful I am and how I try to wake up every single day remembering how grateful I am for, not just being able to do this as a living, but just being able to talk about something I'm so passionate about, and have people supporting me means the world. And I just want everybody in here to know, whether you watched and that's, you were just watching and, I don't know, maybe doing dishes while you watched, or you commented or you donated, whatever capacity you supported, it means the world. And I never take it for granted. So thank you. You guys are the best. All right. And be safe. Ken's. Oh, thanks, Ken's. I appreciate you. You're very kind. M, you are the best. Love heart, always a pleasure. Uh, Willow, thank you. I appreciate it. I try to be. Super, thank you. Oh my god, thank you, you're the best. It's it's Maze. My bad, Maze. My bad. Different username. Good to see you. Thanks for being on the YouTube side of things. And if you guys want to rewatch the stream, last thing I'll say before I get out, if you want to rewatch the whole thing, it's recorded and will just be live on YouTube now. So, YouTube. So if you want to rewatch it, fall asleep to it, you can. Peace, everybody. Tiffany. Last thing I'll say, super depressing. I saw TikTok where this kid was with like the Detroit Lions. They were doing some like fun PR video. And the Detroit Lions, and the NFL player was like, what? This kid was like 6. No. He was probably like 8. Someone who's young. Maybe, I don't fucking know. He was young. And the Detroit Lions dude was like, what's your favorite cartoon? And the kid was like, cartoon? He's like, yeah, cartoon. What's your favorite cartoon? He's like, YouTube? No, not YouTube. Like cartoon. Like, what's your favorite cartoon? And the kid was like, what's a cartoon? What's a cartoon? And he's like, the Detroit Lions player was like, no, I'm not that old, bro. You know what a cartoon is. And he's like, is a cartoon like when the YouTube video has ads? Please tell me kids know what cartoons are, guys. I 6, 7. Devastating stuff. Devastating stuff. Where are we rating? Okay, that's actually a good question. I don't know who's live. As a 96er, I'm sad. No, it kind of hurts. It kind of hurts. And by kind of hurts, it hurts a lot. Giz, thank you so much. It's a good learning experience. Oh, trying to learn. I appreciate you. Again, thank you for the kind words in the YouTube chat. To bed now, Liz, that's right. Fuck Donald Trump. Have a good night. Yo, proud liberal. I appreciate you making me laugh. Oh, man. You guys are funny. Good night. Frank, thanks again for all the love tonight. Really, it meant the world, truly. That donation was so kind. I think last name Martinez. I have work tomorrow. Boo. I'm sorry. Hey, have a great day at work though. Do something kind for yourself. Maybe on the way to work, get a coffee, or I don't know, or go for a nice walk. Spend some time with friends. You got this. I believe in you. Get some rest. All right, I'm out of here. Yo, thanks for the gifts, Tiffany. Oh my God. I don't know. It kind of glitched, but I think that was crazy. A little Viking hammer. Thank you so much. That actually means the world. Huge W's. That really means a lot. All right. Cartoon? I feel like there was something else I was supposed to do. Someone asked me a question, but I don't remember. I know, Kenz. It was really painful. Taylor, thanks for being on. All right, I'm getting off. I'm going to bed. I got to go to bed. I'm actually losing my mind. I love you guys. You're the best. Be safe. Be easy. I'll be on tomorrow, all right? Mwah. All right. We are going to end on the TikTok side. YouTube, again, appreciate you. You guys are the best. Let me know if you want me to do these more. Let me know in the comments down below if you were watching on the VOD, while it's posted. If you were like, no, I came back to watch this. Yeah, let me know. I'll be live again tomorrow. And I'm posting more YouTube videos today. Going to the studio to do so. I love you all. Get some rest. See you tomorrow. Mwah.